Hello, how we doing? Happy Tuesday. My name is Rob. Welcome to the live stream. A couple minutes late. Sorry about that. Yeah, no excuse. I have no excuse. How's everybody doing? Let me know. I put a poll question up there. Just kind of thought of it 15 minutes ago. Thought it was an interesting one. Just try to get some feedback from you guys. What do you like most about these live streams? When I answer your questions, when I demonstrate how to do things, you can hear me, right? Can you hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. When I answer your questions, when I demonstrate how to do things, we hear you. Thank you, Troy. When I share analytics or something else, let me know in the comments and I can take a look. Always good to get feedback from your viewers, from the audience. I want this to be what you want it to be, so there you go. Today, I just plan on answering questions. No demonstrations planned, unless you ask me to show you something. Yeah, just going to answer your questions and see what's going on. As you could tell, if you saw the intro, we got some snow just a couple days ago. I mean, if you saw my latest video, I filmed that Sunday. So 2 days ago, there was no snow. Now we have snow. Right there. Got a little bit of snow. It's not very deep. I mean, probably in US language, about 2 inches, I guess. In the rest of the world language, 5 to 6 centimeters is what we got. I can handle that, although it was really wet. Really, really wet, which makes it really, really heavy. So anyways, where's Peanut? She's here. Say hi, Peanut. You say hi? Right here. Look, what's this? Up here. Say hi. Okay. She's not interested in speaking. So there you go. There's Peanut. So let's see who's in the chat. And whoa, where are you going? She's walking behind my... No, come here. Come out here. Come out here. Hang on now. Look where she has gone. She somehow walked behind that monitor and she's right there. So you can't stay there. You can't stay there. Let me set this camera up. Sorry, kind of doing this live. And you can't stay there. So come out of there. Okay, she's not on my desk anymore. Anyway, sorry about that. Excuse me. Yeah, she was going to knock this over. That's my concern. That's where my water bottle usually is, but she was... Anyway, who's here? Let's see who's here. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you have any questions, if you could put 3 Qs in front of it or behind it. I search for QQQ when I'm in question answering mode, and that helps me find the questions. So I'll answer anything I can answer. I'll either give you what I think the answer is, or if I don't know it, I'll tell you I don't know. So I'll just do the best that I can. Who we got here? We got Scott here. How you doing, Scott? I look forward to it too, so I'm glad we're on the same page there. I voted other. My favorite part of your live stream is when you pontificate on bigger concepts and people's misunderstandings about how YouTube works and on general philosophy of growth and service. That was a mouthful, but I appreciate that. Yeah, I guess the last video I made was kind of along those lines, just a little bit different way of thinking of watch hours. Sometimes we kind of get lost in the weeds, right? We'll think, well, how many watch hours are counted if I watch something at 2 times the speed or half the speed, or if I skip ahead and I miss a minute in the middle and I watch like the beginning and the end but not the middle? Like, how many watch hours does, if somebody's watching my videos that way, what do I get credit for? And I guess my argument is don't even worry about it. Like, that's not, you're thinking about the wrong things. It's nice to know, which is why I do answer those questions. I understand that, but I just don't want things like that to be the thing that you're most focused on. Focus on making your next video and making it better than your last one. Trying to keep people watching for longer. That's it. That's the game. That's what YouTube's all about. Keep people watching your videos. Make videos that people want to watch. And I could stop this live stream right here and you will know all you need to know. But I won't. Let's keep going. Marie is here. How you doing? Good morning. Question: what would you recommend? Buy the license for Final Cut Pro, pay a monthly fee, or yearly fee? Thanks in advance. That's a good question, because for those who don't know, if you've ever considered Final Cut Pro as your video editor, that's the one that Apple sells, for Macs. It's basically a significant upgrade from iMovie, which is free. And Final Cut Pro has always been, $450 for me here in Canada, Canadian dollars. In the US, I want to say it's around $300, I think. But they've just come out, it's always been one price, and then you own it, and they can update it forever. You will always own the updates. You will never have to pay a service fee. That's kind of the way it's always been for, I don't know how many years it's been offered. 10, 15, I have no idea, at least 10. Anyway, they've recently come out with a subscription model, which everyone loves subscription models, right? If you're a business owner, then you kind of like it. You like, getting subscription fees. But if you have to pay for something, maybe you don't like it so much. But, the trade-off is lower price. And they did come out with more apps to go along with it. So I guess back to your question, what do I recommend? I bought it. Actually, I bought it not that long ago, only about a month ago. Because I'm starting, I want to learn Final Cut Pro, and I'm kind of teaching myself that. My last, I think, 4 videos, maybe 5 now, have been done with Final Cut Pro. I don't know, if I hadn't bought it, I guess maybe I'd look at the subscription, but I'd have to look into it a little bit more. I don't know exactly all the ins and outs and what else is included, so you'd have to take a look at that. But either way, it's a very reputable program. Yeah, so I don't know. That's going to be, and the other thing is too, if you've already bought it, are you going to be forced into a subscription if you want some of the other apps that go along with it now? What's it called? The Apple Creator Studio, I think is what they call it. which Final Cut Pro is part of. So anyways, yeah, I don't really have a recommendation one way or the other, just that I think it is a good program. So whatever fits your budget, I guess. Let's see. Lori's here. How you doing, Lori? Good to see you. Catherine is here. Good morning from New Zealand. Rob the Maritimer. I've been a sub for a while, but this is my first time here live with you. Welcome to the live stream. ICEMEN Spiritual Warfare. Good to have you here. Thanks for your simple but hugely helpful content. Regards from Portugal. My pleasure. I'm glad you like it. 71 Fahrenheit in Fort Lauderdale. What is it here? It was -2, and I went, oh, it's -1 now. Celsius. So 0 would be 32 Fahrenheit, so a little bit less than, it's about 30 degrees here. A lot less than 71. All right. Maybe Scott should host us all for a barbecue this weekend. That sounds good to me. 71 degrees. That's shorts weather. All right. Hi, everyone from Tasmania. Hello, Lisa. How you doing? Good to see you. Mike is here. How you doing, Mike? Good to see you as well. And my retired path is here. How you doing? Vicky. How you doing, Vicky? Here from Michigan, where it's very snowy and blizzard conditions. Awesome. Awesome. Enjoy. Over 50 Wellness Hippie. Hi, all. How you doing? Hi from Ontario. How you doing, Liz? Good to see you. Let's see. Now we've got Troy here. Good to see you, Troy. And Frank is here. How you doing, Frank? From Meriden. Meriden? Did I pronounce that right? Connecticut. All right. Cecilia in Sweden here. All right. Colorado's here. Muddy Puddles Farm is here. Good to see you. Raleigh and Ron Messimer. How you doing, Ron? Good to see you. All right. Let me look for a question. I told you I'd answer some questions, so let me keep scrolling. What's this? 13 Fahrenheit? Feels like -1 Fahrenheit? That's chilly. That is chilly. All right. All righty. Let's make this window a little bit bigger. So I'll do what I normally do. I've got the, well, let's actually just take a quick look at the poll. What do we got? It looks like When I Answer Your Questions is the favorite by far, actually, by more than double over demonstrations. That's cool. All right. Good to know. I like doing these Q&A ones too. Over demonstrations. That's cool. All right. All right. What am I doing here? Good to know. I like doing these Q&A. Sorry, you guys probably heard that bit of an echo there. I had a tab open I shouldn't have had open. All right, let me look for some questions. See what else we got here. Well, let's just go QQQ and do the search. There we go. Okay, I did that one. Jim over 30. How you doing, Jim over 30? What CTR signals good potential for a video for you? My recent video has 8% CTR after 40,000 impressions and is getting to 100 plus views per hour. It's the highest ever CTR. That's awesome. I mean, so when you look at these numbers, you have to kind of take it in context with your channel and how it normally does. How many subscribers do you have? Like 100 views an hour to me sounds really good. Really, really good if you're used to getting like 5. But if you're used to getting 1,000, which is crazy, not so much. So, I mean, for context, when I come out with a new video, if it's doing really well, I might get up to 600, 700, 800 views in the first hour. If it's not doing as well, maybe 200 to 300 views in the first hour. But anything in the hundreds is good in my books, and that's with my channel size. So if your channel, is smaller than mine, I think that's fantastic. If it's much larger than mine, but anyways, it sounds like you're pleased with that. So your highest ever CTR. So great. As far as the CTR goes, 8%, I think that's fantastic. That would be among the highest that I normally see. I've seen higher, but I tend to think anything over 5% is probably pretty good. Maybe it could be done better. You really have to look at CTR. You can't just compare. You're not comparing apples to apples if you try to compare CTRs across videos and across channels, right? Like if you're a new channel and YouTube doesn't even really know who you're trying to reach yet or who you're speaking to in your videos, 8% I'd say is phenomenal. Like when I started, I was probably 1% to 2%. right? And now, I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 10. But the other thing to look at is when you first come out with a video, especially once you have a base of subscribers that look at your videos as soon as you put them out, like I do. So when I put a video out and I'll get several hundred views in the first hour, my click-through rate is usually quite a bit higher in that first hour, certainly in the first day, right? It goes up because it's the people, call it your super fans, like the ones who can't wait for you to come up with another video. They're going to be the first ones in to watch your video. And sometimes it doesn't matter what the title is. They see your thumbnail. If your face is on there or something about your thumbnail that indicates it's you and they really want to see all your stuff, they'll click right away. So in a lot of cases, the CTR, pretty much every case, in my case, my click-through rate is much higher in the first hours and in the first day than it is a few days later. Okay? A few days later, that's, or maybe even later on that day, YouTube may decide to test it with some other people who may not watch my videos as long. My glasses are filthy. If it's not as, if they aren't as big of fans as the first people that watch, then the CTR will be a little bit lower. So then your thumbnail has to do more heavy lifting to win the click. So I think that's fantastic. 8%, well done. I think that's great. Andy Paints, how you doing? Sorry, I almost said Andy Pants. Andy Paints, thank you for stopping in. Has a question. Because of my ongoing health issues, I am not always able to film. Do you think I should not upload until I have enough videos banked to cover these times? I have not released a video for 2 months. I'm not a huge fan of banking videos myself. But if you know you're going to be away for an extended period of time, then you may want to try to make several and have a couple saved up. But here's the problem. Like if I made videos and I saved them for release later on, if I'm still making videos, I'm probably going to like let's say I've made 3 videos and saved them. Now I'm making my 4th video. I may look back and think, oh, geez, that first video, like the more I look at a video that I've made that I have not uploaded, I may get more super critical about it. And I might think, you know what, I could have done that so much better. Like now that I've made these other videos, that could have been better. And so I feel like I might risk, feeling like I have to delete that one and just do it over again. So I don't know. I'm a big believer in when your video's done, upload it. You know what? If it means that you're not going to release it exactly 7 days apart, a video every week, no big deal. Like wait a couple weeks. Now you said it's been a couple months. You know what? My initial thought would be if you've got a video ready, I would post it now, and just post when you can. I wouldn't put too much thought into saving them up and banking them so that you can be somewhat scheduled, I guess, or consistent in the future. If you got a video ready, I'd post it. That's what I would do. All right. Thank you for Monday's video. I see people in friends live stream saying I subscribe to your channel, trying to be helpful. I only want subscribers interested in my channel niche and videos. QQQ. That's why. So there was a couple of things that prompted that video. I think it was earlier that day or the day before, I dropped in on one of Karen's live streams, Karen, YouTube Over 40, and that question came up in there. But I also had somebody left a question for me in a comment on one of my videos. Same kind of thing. Like how much time is a creator credited for if a viewer watches their video at something other than regular speed? Like what if they speed it up? What if they slow it down? Now my video was about speeding it up, and so anyways, I addressed that. I was just thinking that it's another one of those questions where I feel like, okay, I think we're getting a little too far into the weeds. Like if you want to be a creator, maybe don't worry about that so much. Like just, it'll be what it'll be. You can't tell somebody, I suppose you could, but I think it would be pointless. Like, oh, please, ring, ring, ring. Hello, buddy. Yeah, thanks. I've got a YouTube channel, and I'd love it if you watched my videos. And oh, by the way, slow it down so it takes longer so that you're watching my videos for a longer period of time. Whatever. Like, that's, to me, that's trying to game the system. You don't want to be telling people about your channel like that anyways. Just let YouTube find the right people. And in 99% of the cases, it'll be people that you don't know enough to call up on the telephone. Who calls people anyways anymore? Everybody texts, right? So, oh, I see Melanie Diane's here. How you doing, Melanie? I used to watch your live streams a lot back when I was trying to figure out this whole live streaming thing myself. So I've learned a lot from you. Thanks for stopping in. And congrats on going live again. That was awesome to see you there. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, so... yeah, I just think it's not something you need to worry too much about. Just focus on making that next video and trying to make it better than the one you made before that, right? Just get better at making videos. The better you get at making videos that people want to watch, the more YouTube will give you impressions in front of new people, right? And that will result in more people watching your videos and you getting more watch hours. That's the better way to get more watch hours. Get YouTube to promote your video more. So not promote, but give you more impressions. So yeah, thanks, Scott. I'm glad you liked that. I enjoyed making it. Mike is here. Hello, welcome. If you have a question, put QQQ in front. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Here's a question. Mag? Sorry if I got your name wrong. I'm thinking of doing voiceovers throughout my videos. What would your approach be to doing them? Yeah, so I mean, there's so many different ways to do videos, right? You can film a bunch of B-roll and then kind of put them all together into a story and then tell your story as a voiceover that you record afterwards. That's a valid way to make a video. In terms of, I mean, if I'm going to make a video with primarily voiceover like that, I think what I would do is I would lay down the voice track first. Sorry, I would record the voice first. Like, get settled on your story, your script, or whatever. If it's just voiceover, you're not showing your face at all. You could read the script, right? But try to make it sound like you're not reading. And record that. And then open your video editing program. Put that down as your base track, just the audio. I mean, it could be a video too, I suppose, but you don't have to. Like, if you record yourself video and audio, but for a lot of it you're reading, you can cover that part up with B-roll if you want. The parts where you're not looking at the camera, or all the parts if you want. It's totally up to you. Yeah, and then just build the video with B-roll. And when I say B-roll, it can be, I mean, you could sign up to like Storyblocks or something like that and get B-roll that way, stock footage. But I'm a big, I like making my own B-roll. Just grab your camera and start filming something outside. Maybe film yourself doing something, right? Raking leaves, shoveling snow, whatever it is. And then you can tell a story over top of that, right? So that's two things. The voice track that you record, the voiceover, and then the B-roll. You filming yourself doing something. The camera doesn't have to be stationary the whole time. You can pick up the camera and you can kind of move it around. And I mean, people don't mind that. That's all cool. Yeah, so there you go. That's how I would do that. All right, let's see now. What else we got? Which do you think is better, Epidemic Sound or Storyblocks? I mean, it's hard. I use Epidemic Sound right now. I used to use Storyblocks when it was called Audio Blocks. They had audio blocks and video blocks, and they put them together and call it Storyblocks. But that was before I started making a lot of YouTube videos of my own. That's back when I was editing videos for other people in my Fiverr days. I don't remember why there was a time that I didn't subscribe to any, where I was kind of taking a break from YouTube, but I use Epidemic Sound now, and I love it. I love the way you can search for music, and I can always find whatever I'm looking for. Music or sound effects, right? You can, and Storyblocks is the same. So it's personal preference. I mean, I don't even know how their pricing compares right now. Again, I use Epidemic Sound, and if you're interested, here comes a shameless plug. I've got a link in the description below for you to sign up, and I forget what you get, but there's a discount, I believe, 10% off or something, if you use my link. So there you go. Thanks for the opportunity to segue into that. Hi, Rob. Hey, Dave. I'm currently using DaVinci. How would you compare it with Final Cut Pro if you've used both? Very similar. I have used DaVinci, not for quite a while. I still have it, and it is the paid version. I bought it a few years ago, again, when I was editing videos for other people. And, you know, it's kind of complicated. The color tools, color grading, color correction stuff that you can do in DaVinci Resolve is next level. It's beyond anything I know how to do. I'll put it that way. But if you feel like you really want to get into that kind of stuff, like, you know, if I take it, like, look at my picture here. I'm wearing a blue shirt. If I wanted to touch up this as a video after the fact and make this blue shirt red, right, but nothing else changes, you can do that kind of thing with DaVinci Resolve. It's very complicated. I don't know how to do it, but you can. So I believe for color correction, color grading stuff, what I've heard is it is better than Final Cut Pro, but Final Cut Pro does all I need it to do. Like, the only color grading, if you even want to call it that I do is I may play with the brightness, contrast, and saturation. That's really all I do. You know, same thing with Canva with my thumbnails. I may remove the background of me in my thumbnails, and if I feel like my face is a little too dark, if the sun was behind me, let's say, and I want to brighten my face, I'll boost the brightness, but just of me, not of the whole shot. So how would I compare it? They'll both do anything, pretty much anything you want to do as far as video editing goes. They're both high-end video editing apps. You know, there are much simpler ones like iMovie or even, you know, Camtasia or Descript or CapCut, right? There's a whole bunch of them. And they will all do video editing. It's just that the higher end ones can do complicated stuff if you want to get into that. I don't get into that. So I like Final Cut Pro. I switched from being a PC user forever. About 3 years ago, I switched to being a Mac user. And I am glad I did. I love Mac. I love Ecamm Live, which is what I'm using here to stream this. Love it. You can set up scenes, right? With, like if I wanted to share my screen, there's a scene that I have set up. I don't have anything on the screen right now, but I could if I bring this down here, right? But the fact that I have myself here, like picture in picture, I built this scene with Ecamm Live. And then you can hook that to your Stream Deck and switch. Oh, that's not a shot you need. So let's move. That's my iPhone. Let me move it there and put that on Princess there. And then we'll switch back. So all those scenes, this main one, that iPhone one, which you can see where I just put it. There's the iPhone right there. And the screen share one. Those are 3 different scenes in Ecamm. I love the way it works with a Mac. That was a tangent. Sorry. But anyway, yeah, no, they're both good, right? A lot of people will swear by DaVinci. A lot of people love Final Cut Pro. And there are tutorials on both of them galore on YouTube. So if you want to, and that's how I've kind of waded my way through Final Cut Pro. The thing is, if you learn how to edit videos on any of these programs, then learning another one is so much easier because the you know, pretty much the same thing. Not the same thing, but pretty much. They all have a timeline in the bottom. They all have, you know, a canvas that you can look at what's people are going to see in the video, and then a spot where you can bring in all of your footage, and then a spot where you can change things, like inspector, it's often called, right? So they're all pretty much laid out like that. Some are simpler than others, but you know, the biggest thing when I went from, so I had been using Camtasia for the last few years, and that one is more popular for making like screen sharing tutorial type videos, which I've made a lot of in my career. And then I just started using it to edit videos, and all of the videos that I've made in the last couple of years on my channel, up until about 5 videos ago, I think my first Final Cut video was the last one of 2025 that I did. But they were all with Camtasia. Very simple program, but I love the way you animate things in that. So now I'm just in the middle of trying to figure out Final Cut Pro. And again, laid out very similarly, I just have to get used to the shortcuts. The shortcuts are different. Scrolling the timeline is done differently with Final Cut Pro. I'm starting to get it. Shift Z is like zoom the timeline. Command plus 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 minus minus minus, change the zoom of the timeline. Stuff like that. I used to be able to just move the mouse wheel in Camtasia to do those things. That doesn't work, and maybe I could set it up. It could work. Anyways, I'm off on another tangent here. Sorry about that. Let me get back to the questions. What are your thoughts on making a playlist as podcast playlist and how to use it? Yeah, you absolutely can. I've done that. I've done some podcast episodes. If you set up podcast on your channel, it basically is a glorified playlist, or not even glorified. It is a playlist that you've labeled as a podcast, and then you can group anything that you want to call a podcast, any of your videos, even though it was a video, whether it was live or not, doesn't matter. You can put it in your podcast playlist, and then it'll show up. It'll show up there. So yeah, I mean, I think I did it like 6 or 7 times. Whenever I've brought somebody onto my channel to interview them or have a chat with them, I've then set that up in as a podcast, and I also uploaded it to Apple Music and Spotify and things like that, which you can do from Kajabi. Anyways, you didn't ask about that. So yeah, how to use it? That might be a little more involved than I can get into right now if I'm going to answer if I'm going to answer as many questions as I hope to today. So, but you can absolutely do it. It's just a playlist that you would create and then select it once you have a video podcast uploaded to your channel. Alrighty. Deb from Ontario just finished your course. Oh, awesome, Deb. Please tell me who can teach me how to create thumbnails, etc. in Canva. I'm not tech savvy, so I need a Canva for Dummies tutorial. Well, I've got the video for you. Let's go here. No. There. I'm going to share this with you. My screen. Okay. Okay, so here is my channel. Let's just bring this over a little bit. And if you just go to my channel, or let's collapse that, and search for Canva, this one right here, 5-minute thumbnails, how I make my thumbnails in 5 minutes, Canva tutorial. It's only 8 minutes long. I've actually got 2, I thought. Yeah, here's another one. Oh no, that's an older one. Thumbnails that pop, that's another one. Actually, if you search for thumbnails, that might be a better way. Because it's those 2. Yeah, there you go. Search for thumbnails, and those 2, the top 2 that pop up, are the 2 that I made showing how I make my thumbnails so fast. There you go. One was a year ago, one was 11 months ago. I think I made them 3 or 4 months apart. So yeah, there you go. That will help you, I hope. All right. I thought YouTube starts feeding your channel to potential viewers after the first 2 or 3 videos. I've done 5 to 0 views. What do I need to do better? Quite often, the problem is when you're just starting out is YouTube doesn't know. When you're just starting out with a new channel, YouTube doesn't know you, and they don't know who your videos are for. So you need to try to help them figure that out. And the best way to do that is to make sure your video, your first one, is about a specific topic, right? It's just one topic, and that you're not just rambling, talking about all kinds of different things. This is the best way to make this work. Talk about one topic, upload that video. Then make another video, you're talking about the same topic. Or more accurately, you're talking to the same audience. The people who are interested in that first one need to also be interested in the second one, because that is how YouTube starts to learn who you're trying to make videos for. And that's also why it's so important to try to stay on topic and not, use the shotgun approach where you're just trying, you're making videos about all kinds of different things all over the place and hoping something sticks, right? That doesn't always work very well. It would work better if you just stayed to one topic. Now, I get this a lot. A lot of people say, well, I've got more than one interest. I want to talk about all kinds of things. Like, why can't I talk about whatever I want to talk about? And my answer is, you can, but don't expect to grow very fast. I think a better strategy, if you want to get to a point where you can talk about, where you want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, you need to establish your channel first and establish an audience, viewers that keep coming back and want to see more of you and your video. So yeah, stay on topic, one single topic, but also your videos, so important that the beginning of your video draws people in and hangs on to them so that they can watch, so that they will want to keep watching all of your video. And that's easier said than done. When you're first starting, that's hard to do, very hard to do. You can't just, like, I think of gaming channels, for instance, where somebody is a gamer and they've heard that, oh, if you just go live when you're gaming, you can start making money with YouTube or Twitch or whatever, right? And I guess technically you could, but then I'll see people will start their gaming live stream channel and they're gaming, but they're not even saying anything. And so, like, why would anybody watch? That's a question you have to ask yourself. Why would someone want to watch my video? Okay, or live stream or whatever. You need to be able to answer that. And if you can't answer that, then start kind of reframing that and ask yourself, okay, what kind of video, how do I make a video that people will want to watch, right? And then go there. So that's really, I know it's a generic answer, but it really is the truth. That's the way it works. YouTube doesn't necessarily, they're not just going to randomly put your video out in front of a whole bunch of random people, typically, right? I mean, when somebody opens up their YouTube, they're presented with, I don't know, 9, 16, whatever thumbnails to choose from when deciding what video they're going to watch next, okay? So they got a choice to make. What are they going to pick? And that's valuable real estate. You know how many billions of videos there are in YouTube? There's a lot. Well, YouTube is going to pick 9 or 16 for that one viewer, and it's going to be a different 9 or 16 for viewer number 2 and viewer number 3. In fact, YouTube is essentially a completely different experience for every individual. Okay, it's customized for each individual. And YouTube is going to want, so when I fire up my YouTube, YouTube is going to say, okay, that's Rob, got his account, okay, here's his watch history, this is what he normally likes to watch, he spends this much time on these videos, he likes those creators, all right, let's pick 9 videos. Boom, there's 9. Maybe one's a live stream going on right now. Maybe one, and they don't even have to be, videos from people that I subscribe to. It's just videos that YouTube thinks I'm going to click on. They want to give me 9 choices that I can't refuse. So yeah, I want to watch that. Oh, I'm going to come back and watch that one too. Yeah, yes, and that one too. Yeah, I want to watch that too. Right? YouTube wants to do that. They don't want to give me 9 random choices, right? Because I may not click on anything, and I'll open up Facebook or something, close YouTube. They would hate that, right? So you need to do some work to make videos that people will want to watch. But of course, that doesn't even matter until people click on your thumbnail and title. So you have to do some work there first. Thumbnail and title has got to be something that people will want to click. It's like, oh, that's an interesting title. Ah, interesting thumbnail too. The two of them work together, right? Yeah, I want to watch that. Click and watch. Now, if they click to watch it and they leave within 5 seconds and everybody leaves within 5 seconds, well, then the problem is not your thumbnail and title. The problem is your hook or the beginning of your video. You need to do some work there. Having said all that, there's no way to get good at all this stuff right out of the gate, or it's next to impossible. I mean, it happens, but those are outliers. And when it does happen, those outlier creators, they make videos about it. So see how easy it was for me to blah, 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 right? So if you watch videos like that, I mean, awesome, good for you. But, that's not typically the way it goes. So usually there's trial and error involved. You'll make a video, you'll upload it, you'll see that, I only got 1 view or none or 5. And anyway, usually you're going to be disappointed right off the bat. So you go back to the drawing board, you make another video. Oh, this one's the best. This is the best. This is so much better than the last one. You post it, 0 views. Okay, what's going on? Right? So there's a lot of that early on, typically. And you just have to keep working on getting better. I don't know how else I can put that. You got to get better at making videos that people want to watch. The people you're trying to reach out to, the people you're making your videos for. So yeah, focus on a specific group and go for it. You can do it. Okay. Do you agree with the no niche approach for a mature content creator? Cons or pros? No niche approach. So I'm assuming what you mean by that is somebody just doesn't have a niche. They're going to talk about whatever they want to talk about. I talked about that a little bit already today, but basically, if you're just brand new starting out, I don't necessarily think that's a good idea. Unless there's something incredibly entertaining or useful about the videos you're making, they've got to be exceptional in some way. And if they are, great, it might work for you. But typically, no, you've got to have something you're talking about. Now, for established creators who maybe have spent their a couple of years in the trenches making how-to videos on a specific thing, or right, they had a clear niche. Once you build up an audience of people who will watch whatever you want to make, then maybe you can start to venture out into other areas, right? And before you know it, maybe you can just flick on your camera and talk about whatever you want to talk about, and people will tune in. And then you can, I think that's a lot easier to do once you're established than it is starting from scratch. Okay. Do you get any credit or account for view hours from these lives, or is the live a loss other than building the community? No, I get, okay, well, I mean, I get credit in the sense of watch hours, sure. Like actually, so we got 232 people in here. Thank you guys. I hope you're finding value in this. But yeah, so, I mean, I might get 1,000 watch hours from doing this live stream. That's awesome. But I don't need watch hours anymore. I'm monetized, and I don't know what I get, maybe 20,000 watch hours a month now. So it's not something, I'm not in danger of falling below the 4,000 hours in a year at this point. So in that respect, watch hours don't matter. So what does matter? So like, how do I get paid, right? It's basically ads, right? Like probably 90% of my YouTube AdSense income is from watch page ads. So that's how I make the money, right? Well, for these live streams, I turn ads off because I don't want to be interrupted by ads for you. I don't want you to see an interruption and then you'll miss some of what I was saying because an ad is playing, just so that I can make a couple bucks, right? I turn that off. When this live stream is over, I then turn monetization on, because if anybody's watching this on the replay, I'm paused for the duration of any ad that pops up. So then it's okay. Then it's like a regular video, where there could be mid-roll ads every once in a while, right? So back to your question, is this kind of like a loss? Well, not really. I mean, I probably make not a lot, maybe 20, 40 bucks a week per live stream like this over the course of a week. All the ads that when people are watching on the replays, so I'll earn a little bit of money from that. But the number one thing, that's not why I do it. I'll get the odd super chat, right? If somebody leaves a tip, right? A super chat. So that happens. But the real benefit, which you alluded to, is building the community. So I do look at it that way. We're building a community. A lot of you guys like to show up every week, and I'm grateful for it. I love it. It's awesome. I love being part of this. And I also love seeing other live streams pop up over here and over there. Scott's got one. Karen does it. Lori. Like, there's a bunch of you guys that go out and do your own live streams. And a lot of the same people, I'll see a lot of the same names. And I think that's just great. So we're all helping each other out is the way I kind of look at it. But aside from that, it also gives me the opportunity to say, hey, if you're interested, I sell courses, links below. Join my free community, Creators Cove, link below. So I should mention that. I've got some freebies if you want to download some free resources, links below in the description. So it gives me the opportunity to self-promote as well. I can also talk about the videos that I made in the last week. When I first started doing these live streams, I was making 3 videos a week. And when it came around to Tuesdays, the live stream, I would talk about those 3 videos. That's kind of what, like, before I had a lot of people showing up into the live streams, I had to think about what is going to be my content. What am I going to talk about? And that was a great starting point. I just made 3 videos since my last live. I can talk about those. I can go over what I did, how I made them, and take questions about them. I can also talk about the 3 videos I'm thinking about making in the upcoming week. right? So self-promotion, try to generate some interest. Like, don't go away. I've got a video coming out tomorrow. You're going to want to see that. Make sure you're subscribed, right? I could say things like that. And then in the videos, periodically, I'll say towards the end of a video maybe, I go live every Tuesday. If you want to stop in, I'd love to see you there. I answer questions, blah, 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 right? When I come out with a new course or the Creators Growth Project, which actually we just wrapped up the first running of that yesterday. I think that went really well. So just kind of taking feedback from the 10 who are in that group and going to try to make the next one even better. And I'm going to run that on March. See, I just promoted myself there again, right? So if you're interested, well, yeah, you can go to my website, but doors are closed on that right now. But I will be opening that up to a waiting list at some point soon. So there you go. Those are my reasons for doing live streams. It gets me talking too. It gets me be able to interact with you guys. I think it's a great way to build a community, and I don't just mean the live stream. In this live stream, there's a bunch of us in here. I'm talking about like this translates into more and better comments on your videos. A lot of you guys who are here in the live stream will comment on my videos, and I think that's fantastic. You'll ask me questions there. That's another thing. I mean, I could go on and on, but I have a list of topics for future videos that's at least 50 items long. And I haven't looked at that in months because I keep getting ideas for my next videos either in the chat here in these live streams or the comments on my videos from my community. From this community is where I get my ideas. So if you're struggling with ideas, what to make your next video about, do a live stream, and you know your people might help you out with that. All right, let's move on. Another question. Let's see. Melanie, curious what your thoughts are on experimenting with variations of content. Should we do it on a separate channel? So variations of content. I do like variety. Like, okay, speaking for myself, so there's a couple different ways we can look at this. If you're talking about different types of content in terms of long form versus short form, I've got some opinions on that. Yes, I think it's okay to have both on one channel, but you know, if your focus is long form, keep your focus on long form and use something like Nexus Clips to create your shorts. And make sure those shorts are aligned with your long form. Perhaps clips from within your long form that you extract and make a short out of. I think that's fine, and that's great. That's good for branding, right? The people who normally watch your long form content on the computer or on their phone, let's say they're just scrolling through shorts a little later on when in some downtime, it'd be nice if you would be able to pop up in their feed every once in a while, right? Branding reminds them that you exist is the way I look at that. But if you are making how to edit videos content on your long form channel or whatever, or on your channel, and then you decide, you know, your cat just did something funny and you caught it on video, you're going to make a short out of it, you think you can go viral, I would not put that on your channel, your video editing channel. Because if it does go viral, it'll go viral. You may get a whole bunch of subscribers too, but it's a bunch of people who perhaps only watch shorts. That's number one. They may never get to your long form content, but also they're looking for more cat videos. They're not looking for video editing. So even if they did go to your long form channel, they're not going to see anything they want to see. So now you've got a channel that's full of subscribers, but you're not making that content. So you then have a decision to make. Become a cat videographer and making cat shorts all the time and forget the video editing stuff, right? Or, well, I mean, preferably you'd make this decision beforehand. If you wanted to make a cat video like that, I would do that on another channel, right? And if it goes viral, great. Now you've got a channel where you can put future cat funny videos, shorts, even longs, right? Maybe it's primarily a shorts channel, but after, making, let's say you make 10 funny videos in a month, at the end of the month, make a long form video that's like a collage of all the 10 videos, right? You could do something like that. But that's a very different approach than long form. So you have to get straight in your head what your focus is, what kind of videos do you like to make, and then try not to confuse the algorithm. That's all. Okay. So, but yeah, so that's one way to look at that. And I don't know if that's where you were going with that, but experimenting with variations of content. So I guess my first thought with that would be like variations in settings. Like, so my channel, for example, I typically talk about YouTube, right? And growing a channel and for beginners, getting started. But I don't do it the same way all the time. Sometimes I'll go for a walk on a trail, on a trail. Sometimes I'll go to the beach. Sometimes I'll sit here at my desk or I'll sit in the chair behind me. Like I consciously try to change that stuff up. I feel like if I make too many videos in a row on the trail with the same trees and everything just looks the same all the time, number one, if people see a thumbnail that looks very similar to my previous videos, they may think, oh, I've already seen that. I'm not going to click on that. So there's that. And yeah, so that's the reason, that's probably the main reason I want to change things up. I just want to show people different things so people know for sure that this is a different video. I might wear a different hat, different color shirt, different sweater, things like that. So variations like that I think is a great idea. Switch things up. If you normally make videos at your desk, even if your channel's growing well, pick up your phone, clip on a mic, and go for a walk and make a video holding your phone, right? So it's even unsteady. That's not a bad thing. And make a video like that. It's different. Your audience might look at that and think, oh, this is cool. What's Melanie doing now? Where is she? I don't know. I'm used to seeing her in her office, right? So I think that's good. That could, give good signals, and you could level up a video that way. So anyway, I hope I answered your question the right way. All right. Let's see, who else we got? We've got Andy O'Neill. Question: did you ever feel like quitting in your early days due to no growth? My channel feels like it's died. Stuck on 800 subs and barely 100 views. Been going about 14 months. So to answer your question, did you ever feel like quitting in your early days due to growth? Not only did I feel like it, but I did. I did quit. I started in January of, I think it was 2021. I always have to check. January 2021. I made 9 videos my first month. I think I registered or set up my channel several months before that. I think it's April. I think if you look up at my channel, it says, joined April 2020, I guess. Yeah. But then I spent months watching other people's videos, like watching creators and trying to figure out how am I going to do this. I'm not a videographer. I'm not a camera guy. I made screencast tutorial videos is what I had been doing at the time for other people. So I was trying to learn as much as I could on lighting and stuff. Nick Nimmin, I spent I don't know how many hours watching his live streams and trying to figure out how to do all this stuff. 9 videos the first month in January, and then February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. What was that, 8? It wasn't until October that I made my 10th video. So I went silent for 8 months. And then I tried it again January 2022 until June. And then I went silent for like 18 months. Gave up again. And it wasn't until almost 2 years after that, March of 2024, that I finally said, you know what, I've seen enough evidence. I can make this work. I actually have 2,700 subscribers at that point I had, and maybe 100 videos I had made. But my watch hours were, I don't know what they were. They had started to go up, and I think they crested at like 2,800 hours in the last year, and then they were falling because I was losing off the back end, right? They only count your last 365 days. And the watch hours were falling, but the subs were there. But I had seen enough to know that, because I had seen growth in the months where I was not making videos, and that was a bit of an aha moment. It's like, oh yeah, really? Like those 9 videos I made in my first month, I had, what did I have? Wrong spreadsheet. I had 6 subscribers after that first month, after 9 videos, 6. But then 8 months later, at the end of September, still just those 9 videos, right? 9, I didn't make any more, but that 6 grew to 160 subscribers, people just watching those first videos. So yeah, I saw growth even when I was not making videos, and that I guess was helpful to me. Yeah, but it wasn't until I finally decided, like, let's give this a good go, that and I got a plan together, that I made it work, and I turned the watch hours around, and I started doing lives, right, and that really helped, and I started making 3 videos a week when I could, and then it took 4 months from that point to get monetized. So that's a bit of my story, and I've got videos on that too. But yeah, try not to get discouraged, because growth is slow at the beginning. It always is. 99% of the time. For 99% of the people, growth is slower than you want it to be when you start. It's just the way it is, and you just have to kind of get through it. Just know. Try not to make those videos perfect, your first videos. First of all, there's no such thing as a perfect video. No such thing. You can't. I've never made a perfect video. I've never watched a perfect video, right? It does not exist. The more you try to make yours perfect, you're just spending more and more time on the edit, right? You can edit a video in half an hour, or you can edit a video in 3 months if you want to take that long, and you're probably not going to move the needle that much, right? That's my feeling on that. But the other part of that is that your first videos, whatever number you want to put in front of that, your first 20 videos, your first 50, in my case, it was my first 100 videos were me practicing making videos. I didn't think that way at the time. I was trying to, improve my stats with every video. I want this one to be better, right? But really, if I look back at it now, those first 100 videos were necessary for me to learn how to make a good video that people want to watch. Okay? To learn how to make videos where I can keep people watching beyond 30 seconds. To get better at making thumbnails that people will click. All those things. You learn all those things by doing, not by watching videos. And again, I watched years worth of videos on YouTube to try to learn how to do this, but the real learning didn't start until I made my first video. And you upload it, and you look at it, say, man, that sucks. I could have done that so much better. Don't delete it and try to redo it. Move on to the next one. The fact that your first video exists on your channel actually is a good thing, because you can refer back to it later and look at that, force yourself to watch it again, say, wow, that really sucked. That was really, really bad. Yeah, okay, I've learned some things. I want to keep learning. So that's I think, a winning attitude. Do you like Meld Studio? I do. I've only used it once, and that was to make a video on how to use it. But I found it very easy to use. I made a video on it, and I put it, actually it's not on my channel, it's in my live streaming Made Easy course, how to use Meld Studio. But yeah, it's billed as an OBS Studio competitor. Some people say it's better than that. I found personally it was easier than OBS Studio. And it's also free for now anyways. Yeah, no, I really liked it. But Ecamm Live is my favorite. Meld Studio works on Mac and PC, which is awesome. Ecamm Live is only Mac, which is okay by me because that's what I use. If you like the ability to put people's chat messages in your live stream, like I've just put yours on screen, and I can change the way it looks. I can move it around, whatever, but I can design the scenes and how they look. If you like that ability, Ecamm Live makes that so easy. There are other programs you can use, like StreamYard will do that. That's a browser-based system, not software that you have to download. Ecamm Live is software that you download. But StreamYard is not as customizable. Maybe it's better now. But when I used it a few years ago now, you couldn't customize your scenes as much as you could in Ecamm Live. So anyway, it's my favorite, if you haven't guessed. Hey Liz, if you take pics, not video for B-roll, is there a certain size, or just upload the pic into your editing program? Well, yeah, no, there would be, okay, you'd want to start with what is the resolution of your video that you want to make. So what's your end goal going to be? Is it a 4K video you're making, or is it a 1080p video? If it's 1080p, then the dimensions of 1080p is 1920 across the width by 1080 height, okay? And you will want your photo to be that, okay? Now, if you take photos, chances are, if it's a high quality photo, chances are the pixels are way greater than that, in which case you'd want to scale it down so it fits on the screen. If your photo is of less quality than that, then you would have to scale up. But when you scale up, you run the risk of part of your photo being blurry, not as clear, okay? Making photos or videos, like upscaling them, making them larger than what they actually are, is never going to be as good as the original. It's always better to either shoot the exact size that you want it to be or shrink it down, right? So, if I'm making a 1080p video and I have some 4K footage, I can just shrink it down. It'll look perfectly good at 1080p. With photos, yeah. So that's the way to look at that. And then with a photo, like the photo might not be the same aspect ratio either, right? Maybe it's more square, in which case you might want to zoom in the width more. You'll lose some off the top and or bottom. I mean, you can adjust where the loss is, so that you fill the whole screen. If you don't want to do that, then you're going to be left with probably black bars on the side or whatever color bars you want, right? And then there's some tricks you can do. Like if you're going to use photos as B-roll, here's a hint. Here's a tip for you. Use the Ken Burns effect. And if you don't know what that is, it's a way to make your photos appear to move. Not appear to move, they do move. So you put a photo on your screen, and if you want to give it some motion, the Ken Burns effect would be, for example, a slow zoom in. It's getting bigger, and you can pick the point at what you're zooming into. Like I think Ken Burns was like a skier photographer, and I used to see TV shows with awesome photos of these skiers going over the mountain and stuff. So if you got a photo and the focus is on a skier that's in the upper right corner, say, then a slow zoom might be slowly zooming in to that corner so that it's bringing focus to that skier. And then do that for 5-10 seconds, whatever, then switch to another photo. Maybe the next one is a slow zoom out, right? Stuff like that. So and you can do that with any video editing program. But the Ken Burns effect, that's what I would recommend you do to try to bring some life to just photos. I don't think I'm that way in real life. Do you have any suggestions? Okay, there must be a first part to that that I missed. What are you not like in real life? Any suggestions? Okay, let's see. Let's search for Troy. Let's see. Here it is, right there. I find my videos to be a little lackluster regarding my demeanor. That is to say that I'm not very animated, and dare I say I come off as a little boring and stuffy. Do you have any suggestions? Practice is all I can say. I haven't thought about that a lot lately, but when I was first starting out, I had the same issue. Like I just felt like I am boring as hell. Like what do I gotta like? I'm not an actor. I'm not an actor. I don't. I'm not trained in this. So what can we do? I mean, there's a couple things you can practice. Just practice filming yourself and just try to go over the top animated. It's going to be really weird and uncomfortable to do that, but it might be a fun exercise. Like just to, move your eyebrows up and down, your hands, and when you're talking about things, use your hands like more than you normally do, and try to talk that way for a couple of minutes, right? Just the hands all over the place, and you're moving your head around, and maybe even try some things with your voice. Like try getting really excited and going up and down with your voice. Like, you know what I mean? Just crazy weird stuff like that. Just try it, and you'll look at it back, like watch it back, and you'll probably be embarrassed for yourself if you watch that. I mean, maybe do that in a room where there's nobody else, so you can kind of do it in private. I don't think I would do that out in a busy area outside. I would do that in my office. But it's great practice. But even doing all that, I still found that I started to settle in, with my voice and what I, felt comfortable the way I felt comfortable talking. But then still, if I go outside on the trail, say, and I see I'm walking on the trail and there's somebody walking towards me, I will wait the couple minutes before they pass before I start recording. I just don't want to record with other people around watching, listening to me. I'm not comfortable with that yet. It's something I want to get over, but I got to force myself to get out in public to to practice that so I can get over it. But it's one of those things on my bucket list, on my list of things to get better at this year. So, yeah, just practice, Troy, and I'm confident you can do it. Alrighty. Steve's Wildlife. Hey, Rob, as a maritimer, do you enjoy recreational fishing or lobstering? I'm curious about the channel name. Thanks for helping us with YouTube. Good question. So, maritimer. Why am I the maritimer? I love the water, the ocean specifically. I grew up water skiing and sailing on the ocean, here the Atlantic Ocean. So there's that. Also, if you live in either Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, or Prince Edward Island, those are the 3 maritime provinces of Canada. If you live in one of those provinces, you call yourself a maritimer. I'm a maritimer because I live in the Maritimes, or I live in the Maritime province of Nova Scotia. So I guess that's technically what it is. As far as lobstering, I love eating lobster. I love lobster, but I do not fish for lobster. You can't just go fish for lobster. It's pretty highly regulated. But we have boats, lobster boats. I mean, there's traps out there right now because we're in lobster season right now. So the boat comes by most days and checks their traps. Pull up the trap, take the lobster out, put new bait on, drop the trap in, they'll check it again the next day. So yeah, they lobster fish around here all the time. 6 months of the year in this area, I think it's like December 1st until June 1st is the season here. But they generally only fish like for the month of December, and then they don't do much in the coldest months. And then April, May, June. Yeah, April, May, June? Or is it the end of May? I forget. They'll fish again. Because when it's cold, lobsters don't move that much. They kind of get tired and slow. So it's not until the water starts to warm up that they actually start moving around. And when they're moving around is when they can run into a trap, right? So anyway, you didn't need to know that. So yeah, I don't fish for lobster. Fishing, I mean, I'm not a big fishing guy. I'm more recreation on the water, in the water, boating, skiing, sailing, that kind of thing. I have fished, but I'm not, I'd appreciate it if somebody else took the fish off the hook for me. Let's just say that. But I love eating fish. How's that? We get a lot of mackerel here, a lot of tuna. There's tuna here in the bay. What else? Swordfish. I actually captured a swordfish, not the fish, but on camera, jumping out of the water like a 6-foot swordfish. Or, swordfish. What's another word for them? It's not a marlin. It's not like a sailfish. Just the North Atlantic swordfish was in here last year or the year before. That was pretty cool, seeing that come out of the water. I put that in one of my videos. I forget which one, but there's a video of it coming out of the water. All right, so there you go. Question. I made a 50-minute video, but people are only staying for like 30 seconds. How can I make better hooks to get them to stay? Should I include a special moment in the video at the beginning? That's a good idea. You can do that. There's a bunch of different things you can do, but yeah, if you've got a long video, you have to, I guess, set expectations somehow. Like, it's got to be something people want to watch. Are you delivering, like, what's going on in that 50 minutes? Like, if it's, okay, and I don't know if this was you that asked about the fishing before. Maybe not. But just using fishing as an example. If you've made a 50-minute video of you fishing, and there's not a lot going on, but maybe for 5 minutes of that 50 minutes, buried in the middle somewhere, you caught a fish, then that's probably the moment you want to capture. But I would suggest that just filming yourself fishing and not really talking that much is not a video people are going to want to watch anyways, right? I think if you want to show that kind of footage, and again, I have no idea if that's what the kind of footage the kind of video you make. But I would say a better way to use footage like that is if you also had a story to tell, and you don't have to tell it while you're fishing. You can tell it afterwards, like as voiceover, right? Or just pick up your camera and talk to it and tell a story. And if you don't want to show your face during the telling of that story, use that footage of you fishing as B-roll on top. Then at least you're telling a story. And if you're telling a story, storytelling is huge. If you can get good at telling a story, that is the best way to keep people watching. Okay? So yeah, get good at storytelling. Easier said than done. I want to get better at storytelling. It's something I want to work on this year. But yeah, so that's one way. Tell better stories. Another way would be, yes, you can take a clip from later on in your video, put it at the beginning, make sure it happens quickly, like quick edits, cut out any dead space. Or something else you could do is just add B-roll. Maybe you're starting to talk, but don't just show yourself talking. And that's something I've been doing a lot of lately with my videos. I'm showing B-roll of me getting my camera ready or walking to the place where I'm going to film. And that's what you see when I'm talking. But the actual talking didn't start until 3 minutes into my recording, right? So the first 3 minutes I chopped off, got rid of the audio, and that's going to be my B-roll. So people can kind of see where I am, what I'm doing, and right? So telling a story and showing B-roll, and they can be unrelated. That's two different things the viewers have to try to consume at the same time, and that might increase the chances that they stick around for longer. So I hope that helps. Have you tried live software on the iPad? I downloaded one but haven't used it much yet. I have not. I've never gone live with the iPad. I've gone live with my iPhone, and when I did that, I used my iPad connected to my iPhone because I was outside. So that I could get the live chat on the iPad. So I held my iPad so I could see the live chat, but the camera was my phone. So I've done that, and that worked quite well. I've never even taken a photo with my iPad. So yeah, no, I haven't done that. Are you a fan of Final Cut Pro or Camtasia? Both two different types of, they both have their strengths. I'm in the middle of switching from only using Camtasia to making my videos with Final Cut Pro. It's something I want to do, something I want to learn. But yeah, you can edit with either. They're both good. Oh, I already answered that one. Been writing original songs and using Suno to generate the music and vocals. I know I can use the music in my YouTube videos, but how do I block people from using it without paying me royalties? I don't know. That's a world I don't know much about. The only part of that world I somewhat know a little bit about is I know I want to stay away from it. Just because I don't know the rules. Like, I avoid showing other people's clips, like clips of movies, clips of songs. Like, people ask me about reaction videos and things like that. Like, how much can I show, and can I do that? Can I still get monetized and all this? Like, that's all a dangerous game, because if you're using any footage or audio that's not yours and that you don't have a license to use, then you could get a copyright strike. Now, I know that's not what you're kind of coming at it from the other way. How do I block people from using it without paying me royalties? I would think you probably have to have it registered somehow with you, so that people know that you are the owner of it. And I don't know how you would go about doing that. I don't know that. Like, if you make your own music, if you have like a label that represents you, they probably would know how to do that. But how to do that on your own, I'm afraid I don't know. I'm sorry, Amy. But I understand the need, like, you wanting to know how to do that. My most popular content are how-tos. Viewers get what they came for and leave. No reactions, no comments, no sub. I get it. But it's tough to gain traction. Any tips to get them to connect? Yeah, that is tough. I mean, one thing you could do is a pinned comment, right? You can have, if you're making how-to videos, write a comment and pin it at the top that asks a question, like, what else do you want to see from me? Now that you know how to do this, what else would you like to know how to do? Let me know, and that might be my next video, right? You can put something like that in there. My nose is itchy. So you can do that in a pinned comment. You can do that towards the end of your video when you're signing off. If you liked this video, like as you're wrapping up, and that's how you do blah. If you enjoyed this, if there's something else you'd like to see me make a video about, let me know in the comments below. And because I read and answer all comments and questions, and one of your questions might end up being the subject of my next video, right? That's just an opportunity for you to kind of promote yourself a little bit. So that's the way I've handled that, because that's what I did before I made the switch to talking more about YouTube. I was making how to edit videos with Camtasia. Those are the videos I made. And yeah, I would often ask people, what else do you want to see me make? I'd ask them in a pinned comment. I'd ask them in the video. I would ask them at my next live stream. It's all about trying to get feedback from your viewers, because what you want to do is you want your channel to be exactly what your viewers want it to be. So if I want to make this channel exactly what you want it to be, I should be asking you what you want, right? Instead of guessing, right? I mean, there was a certain amount of guessing, like not guessing, but I would do some searches on topics, like what are people wanting to know how to do with Camtasia? So I do some keyword research, some YouTube search research, right? So I got some ideas that way. But once you get that ball rolling, and if you can start getting your viewers engaging with you and helping you out with the decision-making process, that's awesome. That's kind of where I'm at right now with this channel, but if you can get there with your how-to channel, that would help you out immensely. How did you edit out background music in YouTube Studio? How did you edit out background music in YouTube Studio? What was that? Oh. So you may be referring to, and I talked about this, that happened to me once where I accidentally captured copyrighted background music in a live stream, and it was in one of my browser tabs. I had a music station on, and it played a few pieces of music before I realized it, and it was somebody in the chat that told me, said, "Hey, can you turn that music down?" I said, "What music?" Because I couldn't hear it. I had the volume down low, and I found it and I shut it off. Anyways, later on that night when I tried to turn monetization on for the live stream, YouTube said, "Yeah, but we found some copyright stuff here. What do you want to do?" Right? And it gave me the option. So exactly how I did that, I can't show you because I don't have anything like that I haven't dealt with right now. But I believe you go into the copyright tab in the left margin of your YouTube Studio. Is it copyright or content for a video? I'm just trying to find it to see if it makes sense here. Yeah, okay. Okay, so let me share this. Okay, so here is my YouTube Studio. Let me just move this over a bit so you can see it. So under content, you come into your YouTube Studio, go to content, and then whatever video, let's go to this latest video, you hover over it and click on details. Okay, so this is the details about this video. In the left-hand side here, you would go to copyright. Okay, and in here is where you will get the notice that says, there's something you got to deal with here, or you can't monetize this video. So this video is fine right now. As you can see, the channel isn't affected. No copyright issues were found. So all is good here. But if there was an issue, it would be listed here, and it would give you options. And the options I had were delete my video. I think that was an option. Or mute that section of the video, because I think it identified 4 songs from like this time to that time. So I could have just muted the audio. I didn't want to do that because I was speaking throughout the live stream. So I said, no, that's not a good option. Or I could leave it alone and just let the owners of that copyrighted music collect the money from that live stream being monetized. Didn't really want to do that. So then the best option for me was YouTube said, would you like us to use our internal AI to try to remove the background music for you and leave everything else intact? I said, yes, please. I would love that. Could you do that? And it said, click here. We'll give it a shot. I clicked there and it worked beautifully. I had to click it 4 different times for each of the pieces of music, but it worked perfectly. The music was removed. My voice remained and everything else that was going on remained. And it was awesome. So anyway, that's how I dealt with that. And that was probably about a year ago that happened. So there you go. Where'd my mouse go? Oh, there we go. All right, how are we doing with questions here? Question, I've just watched a big channel who has similar content to you, and he is saying YouTube are pushing small channels even less now. If true, is there a way to grow my small channel? So I don't know who you're referring to, but I take a different approach. I still think it's a great time to start a YouTube channel. If you're brand new, start a channel today. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't ever look at it as YouTube pushing channels. YouTube doesn't push anything. Okay? What they do is they try to marry videos with viewers. They try to marry them together. If a new creator comes on and he makes videos, he or she makes videos, YouTube is going to try to put those videos in front of the right people. How are they going to do that? They do that. Now, let me see now. There's billions of people out there, right? With probably millions of interests. Not everybody's going to be interested in your video. So YouTube needs to kind of narrow things down. Like, who do they put your video in front of? Who are you? Like what are you all about? And so YouTube needs to do some work. And what you can do is you can help them out as best you can. And it's more important to do that in the beginning. Now, I would normally, I used to say, or people used to say, your description has to be very descriptive. Describe exactly what's going on in your video. Use keywords and all this stuff, right? Yes, you can do that, but it's not as necessary anymore. If there's a lot of verbiage in your video, if you're talking a lot and everything you're talking about is all about the same thing, YouTube is pretty good at figuring that out because they're transcribing all their videos anyways. So they can get the text from your video. And they've got AI, don't kid yourself. The AI they are using is probably better than what we have access to. So they can use AI to basically say, what's this video about? Right? The algorithm would do that in the background automatically and pretty quickly. And then they're going to try to put it in front of the right people. Now, that's not the end of the story though. Like how many people? They're not going to put it in front of everybody who might be interested in that. They only want to do that for videos that are good videos. What's a good video? A good video is something that people are going to watch a lot of. Okay, so it may take a couple times before YouTube recognizes your videos as being good videos, right? And they're only going to recognize them as being good videos if they're good videos. And that's why it usually takes a little bit of time, because usually our first videos suck. They're not good, meaning we're not able to keep people watching for longer than 5 seconds. They dip in and they see me there. It's like, okay, yeah, this is, my name is Rob, and let's see. Okay, yeah, no, I just started this channel, and I think I want to talk about, gone. People are gone. They're not going to watch that far, right? So you have to get right to the point. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a boat. Let's go. Boom. And now, you know what I mean? And stuff's moving fast. That's an example, right? But you get my point. Like, you have to be good at keeping people watching. What I find works, once you get going, once you find your groove, you almost have to figure out what types of videos you like to make. And then once you figure that out, things do get easier. But it comes with practice, right? So back to your question, with YouTube not pushing small channels as much. YouTube never pushed channels. They don't. People pull videos from YouTube. That's the way it works. Like, I'm not going to come into my office and I'm whatever I'm doing, and then all of a sudden a message pops up from YouTube. Oh, hey, Rob, you need to watch this video from Adventures Hayden and Simon. Right? They're not going to push that on me. I'm gonna open up my YouTube, and YouTube is going to give me choices based on my watch history, based on the types of videos I watch, the content of the videos I watch, the creators that I watch, right? And it takes a little bit of time for you to start to get recognized in those places, okay? So the best way to do that is just to keep making videos, keep showing up, make videos, try to get better with them every time, better at making them every time, and then you'll be found. And if you're making good content, it'll work out for you. Bottom line, if people are watching your video, YouTube will notice that and say, whoa, okay, this is a good video, all right, and it looks like we're putting it in front of the right people. Let's find some more people like that. Like there's more people like Rob here. Rob's watching this video. Let's find some more. Let's find 5 more Robs and give them impressions. You know, some will click, some won't. Maybe on average 5% will click on it, some won't. But then they're going to measure those results. Do they like it? If they do, and they're watching a lot of it, if you're retaining them, if the retention graph is flat and not falling off a cliff, YouTube will love that. YouTube likes it when people watch videos for a long time. Why? Because they can sell more ads. YouTube is a company, it's a business. Their mandate is to make money, right? They're not mandated to provide free. I was going to say web hosting. They're not mandated to provide free video hosting for everybody who wants to make videos. That's not what YouTube is. YouTube is a business, and they need to make money. And the more money they make, the better. It's a business owned by shareholders, right? Shareholders, so you can buy shares. If you guys have retirement savings, you probably are an owner, right? You probably are. In your 401ks or RSPs or whatever you've got going on, there's probably YouTube stock or Google stock or Alphabet stock, whatever you want to call it. And you want that stock price to go up, don't you? If you own some, you want it to go up. How does it go up? YouTube making more money makes it go up. So we as shareholders, if you're a shareholder, we hire the people to run that business, the CEO, the CFO, the everybody below them, right? And we're hiring them, say, make us some money, please. Like, make the stock go up. And they'll say, okay, we need to sell more ads. So let's build this algorithm that gets better and better at putting the right videos in front of the right people so they get watched, and they get watched for a long period of time. Because the longer people are watching videos, the more ads we can sell to advertisers, the more money we're going to make. So that's what YouTube is trying to do. And we as creators are just kind of piggybacking off of their mandate, right? So they said, yeah, we're trying to make money here, and the way we do that is by getting people to watch longer videos. So we want creators out there making great videos, and we're going to reward them. So we're going to pay you 55% of all the ad revenue we collect if you're monetized. That's the deal. The more money YouTube makes off of my videos, the more money I make. Right? So it's in my best interest for YouTube to make money. It's in their best interest for me to, right? So anyway, we're all on the same page. So yeah, try to think of it as a pull, not a push. YouTube is not pushing small channels, big channels, any channels, right? Those channels are making videos and people are pulling them. Yeah, I want to watch that. I want to watch that. I want to watch this next. Okay? You just have to make videos that people want to pull. That might be a title. Might be a title in there somewhere. Do you recommend, Skinny Hornet, do you recommend making shorts? I feel like what works for shorts don't really work for videos. Yeah, it's two different games. Shorts and longs, two different games. I recommend picking the one you like to make the best and focus on that. I feel like it's really hard to focus on both. I think people who watch shorts don't necessarily watch longs, but people who watch longs probably also watch shorts sometimes. It's kind of the way I look at that. So I feel like if your focus is longs, then shorts could be used as a branding tool for your longs. But the game is different. If you're making $5 to $10 per 1,000 views with longs, it might be 5 to 10 cents per 1,000 views of shorts. You need millions of views in shorts to make it worthwhile. versus thousands or hundreds of thousands with longs. It's like 1/1000th is like the difference. Okay. That said, it's probably easier to get a lot of views with shorts. I can't speak a whole lot to that because I don't focus on shorts. I've made a few. I now use Nexus clips to make my shorts, which I haven't done in a while, but I've been meaning to this week because it's easy. It's quick and it's easy. And another plug, if you're interested, I have a link below for Nexus clips if you want to sign up. But anyways, yeah. So they're both hard platforms. Shorts, longs, they're both hard. Why make it doubly hard on yourself by trying to learn them both at one time? I would focus on one, is what I would do. Your favorite, whichever you like to make the most. Chappie says, a lot of people watching shorts are just wasting time, looking for some entertainment. People watching longs are looking for more information. At least that's how I see it. Yeah, that's probably how I see it too. I think that's accurate. If I'm watching shorts, it's probably because, yeah, I'm killing time. I'm relaxing. It's downtime. But I will say, if I'm watching shorts and a creator pops up that I usually like to watch their long form videos, I'm reminded of them. It's like, oh yeah, there's Chappie. Right? Cool. All right. Yeah, that's right. I wanted to watch his other video, blah, blah, blah. Right? So branding, right? That's where I think that works. Let's see. How do you make and post for your community? You do that on your channel. You go to your YouTube channel. So if I share the screen again. So if I were to make a community post, here is my channel. Let's just go to the home page. Here's my channel. Go to videos. No, you go to posts right here. Go to posts, and there it is. So there's the last one I made 11 days ago. I should probably make a post sometime soon. I would type in here, I'd type away, and I might add an image here. Image poll, text poll. I don't usually do anything else other than an image. And then post. That's it. Make sure it's set to public so everybody can see it. And then post. So you do it from YouTube, not from YouTube Studio. So that's a little different that way. That is how you do it. Let's see now. Where did my cursor go? My cursor keeps disappearing. All right. Speaking of getting better, some creators have not gotten better in 5 years, yet they get views. Well, yeah, it's a hard, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe they were good and maybe they reached a certain level and they keep making videos like that. They might not be getting better, but they are at a point where they don't need to get better. And the content they make, they've already built an audience that continues to grow, right? So that's really all I can say about that. And I guess the other thing is, if you say they're not getting better, maybe you're not seeing the full picture. They may be getting better at certain things. They may be getting better at making their titles or making their thumbnails or identifying what topics to talk about. Maybe they're getting better at staying within their niche, talking to the same audience, identifying what else that audience wants to hear from them. So it may not just, when I say you got to get better at making videos, I'm not just talking about video editing. Not talking about that at all, actually. In fact, I kind of pride myself on not being a very good video editor. I don't think it's that important. If you've got a story to tell that a lot of people would like to hear, and in a lot of cases that would mean if you're sharing something, maybe it's an experience you've gone through that maybe other people are going through and perhaps need some help through. They might be online looking for help, and if you are somebody that they can relate to, you don't have to put much more thought into it than that, but just make a video sharing your experience about something, and maybe that something is your niche, and just tell a story. And don't tell it like, if you want to do this, this is what you have to do. Tell it in a way that's like, all right, I just went through something and it was tough. No, I'm being too vague. You got to be more specific than that. and so then I went to the mall, and then I don't know, like I'm kind of drawing a blank here, but my point is, if you can tell a story that people want to watch, your audience wants to watch, and you get better at identifying those topics, that's you getting better, right? And other than that, if we're just talking about video editing, that's kind of subjective anyways, whether people get better. I don't think you have to be a good video editor to make it on YouTube. And yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Alrighty. Just get videos up and editing will come. Short coin. Absolutely. That's right. And yeah, as far as video editing goes, yeah, like to your point, just get your video up. And then when you watch it, you might identify some things like, oh, I could have edited that better. That's good. Make a note. And then when you're working on your next video, do that edit a little bit differently, right? Like for example, if you want to cut out some dead space, like let's say you spoke a sentence and you paused in the middle of it and you wanted to cut out that pause. I feel like it's, or like if you say and ah, you want to cut that out. It's far better, this is what I've noticed, if I just make the cut in the middle and I leave a little bit of dead space on one side and a little bit of dead space on the second half and put them together, it's not as good as if the second half, the cut is right at the moment the speaking starts again. Okay, so if I'm saying something and then I pause a bit, then cut it, and then pick it right back up. Like as soon as the new cut starts, you're speaking immediately, like no dead space at all on the second half. Not sure if I'm explaining that well, but that's just one thing I noticed. That's far better to do it that way than to make a cut, and then come back in, and then, right? Because then you'll see the jarring cut, and then I'm still not speaking yet, right? So things like that you'll start to pick up on, and you'll notice what looks good and what doesn't. When will your next dance video come out? Maybe never. There's a high probability that that's not ever going to happen again, but who knows? Never say never. Okay. Let's scroll down. I got a lot of questions here. YouTube isn't pushing my videos even though I stick to a topic. The videos are dynamic, good thumbnails and titles. What should I do? So sometimes it's really hard to be critical of your own work. It's a skill to be able to look at your own work, thumbnails, videos, objectively through the lens of somebody else. I mean, you could ask somebody else to look at your video and tell them, like, be honest with me. What could I have done better? Right? Why are people? I mean, like, if you want to talk about specifics, what I would do is I'd go into my YouTube studio, I'd look at the retention graph, and I'd try to identify when people are leaving. How many people are still watching after 30 seconds? What percentage? If it's less than 70%, then people aren't sticking around long enough, and you need to get better in your first 30 seconds. Whatever that, you got to get right to the point. So again, I can't, like, I don't know your situation. I don't know what your videos are like, and this isn't coaching anyways. But for example, the beginning of a video, if you're not getting right to the point, then you're wasting time. You need to get right to the point. You should not start a video off by saying, hi, my name is Rob. I make videos on how to grow on YouTube. Last week I did blah, blah, blah. All of that's garbage. It's unnecessary. I'm not even going to say, hi, my name is Rob. I'm not going to say, welcome to my channel. Thanks for clicking on my video. All of that's just garbage. It's just not necessary. It's hurtful, in fact. Hurtful to the performance of my video. I need to get right into the video. You grow your channel by making videos that people want to watch. That statement right there would make a great introduction to a video. And not an introduction in the sense that it is introducing what I'm going to talk about. You don't ever want to make an intro like that. That is, okay, here's the part where I'm going to talk about what I'm going to talk about. Don't do that. Just talk about it. Talk about it. Get right to it. If you want people to know who you are, what your name is, put it in your channel title. Or your channel title. Channel name. That's right, channel name. Put your name there. Or say it at the end of your video, right? People who just click on to watch your video, people who have just clicked one of your videos for the first time ever, perhaps, they don't care what your name is. They don't care what you normally make videos about. They only care about what are you about to help them with. They clicked on your thumbnail and title for a reason. Deliver on that reason right away. They don't care what your name is. If any of your viewers are still watching in the last minute, then you can say who you are. If you've made it this far, hi, my name is Rob. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this useful. If there's anything else you'd like to see me make a video about, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I will answer all questions. Like, just try to get the conversation started, right? Try to think of the YouTube video as a conversation starter. And it's only one half of the conversation. The other half is going to come in the comments. And then another half, the third half, is going to come in the next video you make, right? Just kind of continue the conversation. Because the bottom line is, again, like I said earlier, YouTube isn't pushing anybody's videos. It's people who are deciding they want to watch your video. And if you're not getting views, it's because people are not deciding to watch your video. Is it because they're not clicking on your thumbnails? You can find that out in your click-through rate, your CTR, on the reach portion of your YouTube studio. And if your click-through rate is like 1 or 2%, then you got some work to do on your thumbnail. You know, people aren't clicking on it. So you got to, the thumbnail and the title, you got to be a little bit more descriptive of what you're going to talk about in your video. It's got to be something people want to hear also, right? So then work on that. But if your click-through rate is 5% or higher, then you're probably doing all right with the thumbnail. Now work on your intro game, your retention part of it. Work on that. That's actually the most important. But they don't get in to watch your video unless they click your thumbnail. So hope that helps. Okay, Rob, do you have any advice for a guy like me trying to do something on YouTube Danish and not English? You mean you want to speak in Danish? Well, yeah, I don't know how to speak Danish, so I can't help specifically with that. The same rules apply, right? So you've got to make videos for your audience. And if your audience understands Danish, then I don't know if I'm making sense, but maybe the market size is smaller because there's not as many Danish-speaking people in the world as English speakers. Right? But speak in the language that your target audience understands. Okay, so if you are making Danish videos, they're going to be watched by people who speak Danish, right? And you've got to be talking about something that people who speak Danish want to hear. So you still have to have a niche. You still have to, and then, I don't know what else to say about that. I hope that helped. Hope I answered. I am struggling with editing subtitles on YouTube. Sometimes it works well, other times it freezes or doesn't save my changes even when I publish. Is this a problem with YouTube or my internet? I guess I don't know what you mean by editing subtitles on YouTube. That's not something I've ever done. So I know YouTube gives you the ability to upload a subtitle file with your video, SRT file, subtitle file. But I never do that. I just leave that to YouTube. YouTube will transcribe your video for you and create the captions. So it's not something you should have to do on your own. Now, maybe you're talking about shorts. If you're talking about shorts and you want the animated subtitles or captions to show up, can you do that in YouTube Studio? I've not done that. I would use an editing app to do that. I would use Nexus Clips to do that. And then have your video all made the way you want it to look on YouTube with your captions and everything already set, and then upload it, is what I would do. All right. What camera do you use for these streams? It's crisp. I use, let's go to the iPhone. She's sleeping comfortably over there. And we'll switch this around. That's what I use there. I'm looking at, it's a very dusty Sony ZV-E10. And that lens is the Sigma 16 millimeter f1.4. Okay, and there it's plugged into the computer with that wire right there. That's plugged into a cam link, which is back there. And that's plugged into my MacBook. So that's how I do that. Now this camera here that I'm holding up, and I'll switch angle so you can see it, is my iPhone. Rear camera. And it's not connected with any wires, but since it's iPhone and that's Mac, Mac will recognize the iPhone as a webcam automatically, and that is awesome. So it allows you to pick up a camera and kind of move it around and show other things, right? Another camera angle. So I think that's kind of cool. Alrighty. Peanut. Yes, that was Peanut. How are we doing here for time? What time is it? 3:50. I've been at this almost 2 hours already. Holy cow. Yes, Scott. Or travel with Mac. I am in Nova Scotia, Canada, is where I am. I'm just looking at the live chat right now. I'll take a minute and see what's going on in the live chat. Rob, where are you from? Yep, Nova Scotia, Canada. Born and raised. Spent a little time living in Toronto when I just got out of school, and I lived in Wisconsin for a little while as well. Other than that, Halifax, Nova Scotia. I've just bought Nexus clips, and they are not supporting Swedish speaking. I did not know that, but why would I? Because I don't speak Swedish anyways. I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe you could reach out to them, see if they plan on supporting it. Question: can you tell us how you are monetizing your audience besides what you earn from YouTube ads? Are there any future plans to have to earn additional income from your followers? Yeah. So okay, sure, I can. So YouTube AdSense, and I'm going to make a video on this very soon. It's one of those ones where I keep pushing it down the lane a little bit, but kind of an update 2025 version of a video I made last year. But yeah, so AdSense is number one, or not number one in terms of volume, but that's the main reason or the main way to earn that most people think about. But my number one is coaching. Okay, so I started with one-on-one coaching. Just one-on-one Zoom calls where somebody can chat with me for an hour, 50 minutes actually, and get whatever questions answered they want, or I can help them through their channel audit, whatever. So coaching, group coaching, which I just wrapped up the first Creators Growth Project runs. I plan on doing that 2 to 3 times a year, and I just wrapped that up. So that went great. That's another way. Brand deals, sponsorships. You've heard me mention Nexus Clips a couple times. They are a brand sponsor that I work with. Affiliate revenue. Okay, I've signed up as an Amazon affiliate. So I earn some commissions if people click the links in my description below on any of the products that I use. And I generally include links to things that I use, like, this tripod or this camera, that microphone, stuff like that. What else? What else is there? Let's see. So yeah, coaching, courses. Of course, I've made some courses. So they would be classified as digital products. Okay, so I've made 3 video-based courses. One on camera confidence, one on the YouTube starter course, and the other one is live streaming. And they are available for purchase. So I have links down below that take people to my website, and I might as well show you since, let's go here. So go to my YouTube channel. So you click on any of my videos.
Sometimes I'll get a question.
And you scroll down in the description. So start here. That'll take you to my website. There you can book a coaching call. Here are the 3 courses that I offer. There's the Amazon link. Oh, no, sorry. These are software. So that's another thing. So I am an affiliate of certain softwares as well, not just an Amazon affiliate, but I'm an Epidemic Sound affiliate, a Nexus Clips affiliate, Kajabi, Camtasia, vidIQ, Canva, Ecamm Live. Okay, so I have links to all those, and I would earn a small commission if anybody clicks on those and signs up. All right, and then my Amazon links are down here. Interesting thing about Amazon affiliate program is when you sign up for that, if anybody clicks any of these links to Amazon and goes to Amazon, even if they don't buy that thing, if they stay on Amazon and or I think it's sometime in the next 24 hours, if they buy anything from Amazon, I would get a commission because I sent them there. So a cookie of mine would be placed in their browser, kind of the way that works. So Amazon knows which affiliate to credit for that sale. Okay, so there's that. And then the Start Here section here. So if you click on that, that'll take you to the Start Here page on my website. There are the free resources. So if anybody is interested in the Kickstart Kit, joining the Creators Cove community, I think we're up over 1,500 people in that now, or downloading the stats tracker that I use to track my stats, you can click to download them here. And then there are the courses that I offer, or you can get all 3 here. And then the coaching options, one-on-one or the Creators Growth Project, which I'm going to run that again in March. Okay, so there you go. And I think that's it. Brand sponsors, I talked about that. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Let me get back to the right page here. Oh, we've got some super chats. I am sorry, guys. A little late on these. Let's see. Jasper's Journey. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jasper's Journey. I appreciate that. And Alexander Patrick as well. Thank you very much. Gosh, I hope I didn't miss any of these. We've also got... where'd that one? Oh, to my favorite YouTuber, Nexus Journey. Thank you so much. Feely? Is that your name? Felly? Nexus Journey? Thank you. I really appreciate that. Love the ship. Now let's see. And then we've got David. Thank you, David. Was it David Connor? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I think you've got a question here. Let's just find this. Oh, I've got the Q's written in. That's why I can't find anything. Here we go. There we go. Felly, Nexus Journey. And Alexander Patrick, thank you. Jasper's Journey as well, thank you. Here's the question. David O'Connor Official. Love your content, Rob, and everything you are doing and sharing. Your authentic, kind, genuine approach is inspiring. I plan to record and upload my first video this weekend as feel called to start sharing. Appreciate you. Okay, so no question. Awesome. Go for it. I wish you all the best. Have fun. You're probably going to hate it. Most of us do hate our first video, but just have fun with it and know that that is a huge first step, making your first video and uploading it. And making it is one thing, uploading it is another. Those are 2 big steps. So, yeah, best of luck with it. Have fun. And no expectations. As soon as it's uploaded, you can have some fun looking at the stats. Actually, you're probably not going to see many stats right off the bat, but get to work on your second one once you upload the first. Traveling with Russell. Funny you mentioned the cookie for Amazon. My first commission was from Fish Tank Gravel, when really it was from a link about travel plugs I talked about. Yeah, it's funny the way that works. I think my first one, well, there's 2 that stick out in my mind. I forget which was first, but one was baby diapers, and another one was dog food. So, and I've never had links to those, and that's what got me thinking and wondering, and I went looking. Like, how am I earning commission on that? So that's how I learned how it works. Rob, did you see the new member who joined, Russ the Rocking OR Scale Railroad? I did not. Russ, welcome, Russ. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm on the current, looking at the lives right now, or the live chat right now. So if you've got anything you want to say, you can pop it in there. I'm a resource channel, so the viewers don't care about me, only learning the thing. Thoughts? I mean, that's the way I started too. I was a resource channel. I was making videos on how to edit videos in Camtasia, but I still made sure my face was always there. I think you need to put your face in your videos. Maybe you are, but if you're not, that's what I would start to do. And then your information takes on a whole another level. Now it's you and the information, okay? And you will get some people that subscribe to you because they just like the way you do the presenting. And if you're showing yourself to them, that'll just endear you to them even more. And they'll get to feel like they know you even better, right? So that really does help. Put your face in your videos, like always. And put your face in your avatar. I know not everybody does that, but that's a thing that I think is a good idea. Put your face right in your avatar. And not like a full head to toe picture of you, because no one's going to be able to see you because the avatar is small. Your face in the avatar. I think that's smart to do. Again, not everybody does it, and that's okay. Plenty of successful channels don't do that. I just think it's just another way to help with your branding. Your face in all your thumbnails as well. I think I've got one thumbnail on my channel that my face is not in it, and that's it. So those are my suggestions. Real estate, media, and more. Can you put Amazon affiliate links in your descriptions before your channel is monetized, or does your channel need to be monetized? Your channel does not need to be monetized from YouTube. No, as long as you can put links in your description. I think you need to have your channel verified before you can put links in your descriptions, meaning verify your account with your phone, right? Like that. But then, yeah, no, you don't need to be monetized to start growing a business on the back end of your YouTube channel. In fact, I advise that you start, if you want YouTube to be like a business for you, if you want to make money from YouTube, think beyond AdSense. Think beyond YouTube monetization. Sure, that's a great goal to have. And I chased it, and I was, right? Like I wanted to know, when am I getting monetized? But you know what? Once I realized, okay, I mean, cool, I'm monetized, but you know, the earth didn't change. Like nothing earth-shattering happened. And there's plenty of people that make a good income off of their YouTube channel without their YouTube channel even being monetized, right? I know somebody who's doing quite well. I don't know if they're six figures or not, but making lots of money, and they're not monetized. They're just using their YouTube channel as basically a funnel to send leads to their business. Okay, so what's that business? Well, it's whatever works for you. It could be digital products, make courses, make mini courses, make T-shirts and mugs, sell those, an Etsy shop, right? Printify, print on demand stuff, audio books, like write a book and sell that on Amazon and have a link to it from your description of all of your videos. That's another way you can make money. Coaching, consulting, group coaching, right? So all kinds of ways. And all of that can be done before your YouTube channel is monetized. You just have to have something to talk about, something to help people with, is the way I like to look at it. All right. In Western New York, feel free to come get this Arctic air that fell out of Canada. Appreciate all the time you invest in us. Keep up the good work. Yeah, well, if it fell out of Canada, you can blame Ontario for that, because we don't have any snow here in Nova Scotia. I know you get a lot in Western New York. I feel your pain. Oh, Russ's Rock and Railroad. Are you going to have 100,000 sub celebration? Yes, I am. I think I've decided. So I think, well, I'm going to jump in the ocean. You might think, well, why? How is that celebration? That sounds painful. Well, I don't know. It's just I want to mark the moment. And I often say, like these milestones of how many subscribers you have and stuff really don't matter that much. But when it's something that you've been chasing, something that you've had as a goal, whether it means much or not is almost irrelevant. But if you've got something as a goal, you should celebrate your wins. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that with you guys. It won't be live, but what I think I'm going to do is two things. I would like to, hopefully it's not in the middle of the night, but if it is, it is. But I want to go live when I roll over to 100,000, and I'm going to have a live counter. I've seen, I remember, I think it was vidIQ that I watched do that, and I thought, that's a cool idea. I think maybe it was 2 million for them at the time, so this is only 100,000. Maybe I'm making a bigger deal of it than it is, but hey, I'm going to have some fun with it. So once I get close, once I think I'm within an hour or two of it happening, or maybe 3, I'm going to go live. Whatever time it is, whatever day it is, I'm going to go live. And then so we can kind of do that together. So if you guys are here with me, you can celebrate with me. I'll probably have a drink. Depending on what time of the day it is, I don't know. Maybe with any luck, it'll happen during one of these Tuesday lives, and I'll just keep going live. So I'm going to do that, but then also I'm going to jump in the ocean, and I'm going to film that and use that in a video. I'll probably do that the next day or the next decent day after that. That's my plan. Yeah, Scott, there's going to be a lot of that. A lot of snowsicles forming, a lot of ice. Make it a big deal. Busted your ass to get there. Yeah, I feel like I did. It's fun. It's fun. Hi, Rob. Love your live streams are the best. I enjoy hanging out with Rob and friends, even though I can't always watch live and have to catch the recording. Hey, that's cool. I love that people are watching the recording. That's great. And I love that you guys are all kind of getting to know each other, too. That's kind of cool about this. Hey, YouTube play button plaque is a great milestone. Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm going to celebrate it with you guys. I would be tickled with 100 subs. I was too. When I got to 100 subs, it's like, wow. And I was in the middle of a long break, not making videos, but I saw that 100. It's a big deal, right? And I'm sure I told people, I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it's a big deal. I guess sometimes we have to, like, it's not something I'm going to shout from the rooftop because most people don't care, or even most people don't even really know what that means. And most people in my life anyways, what do you mean? YouTube, 100,000 subscribers, what does that mean? And I can explain it to them, but then that's when people they start to glaze over. It's like, okay, no, I don't get this. Lisa Marie will be there, the big celebration. Yeah, and you're down, I believe you're down in Australia or Tasmania. I wish I was there, or I wish I had your weather. I'm assuming it's warmer there now. Like it's your summer, right? I wish it was summer when it was happening here. You'll have to change your channel name to Rob the Polar Bear. Maybe for the day. Great community here. I agree. Hayden and Simon, I agree. This is awesome. It's 4:07. I don't have to go just yet. If anybody has any other questions, feel free to ask. It's -11 in Ontario and windy. It's not windy here, and it's not that cold here either. The thing is, though, in Ontario, you guys have hotter summers. We don't have very hot summers here. Like, I think we may have a handful of days that gets over 30 degrees Celsius. And what's that in Fahrenheit? 30, I don't know, in the 80s, right? It gets into the 80s. It's about as hot as it gets here in the summer. But in the wintertime, we only have a handful of days that we get snow, really. Like, I might have to shovel the driveway 3 times. I think last year was once. And it's been 1.5 times so far this year. Right? So we don't have, like, the snow we have down right now in 2 days, it's probably going to be gone because the temperature always comes back up above freezing. I don't know if you've already talked about this, but which of your videos can I check out for advice on creating a course? Yeah, I don't have a video on that. I should. I've been asked for that before, and I should make a video. I can give you a high-level overview. So in my case, a course is a video or videos. So I have a 36 video course, a 7 video course, and a 15 or 12 videos in my third one. So it's a series of videos. So I guess how do you go about making those? Well, you'd have to come up with content and make those videos. Once you have those done, then you would, and if there's other things you want to include, like maybe you want to include some downloadable PDFs, checklists, or whatever else. Once you have all your content done, then you have to find a platform to put it on. So I use Kajabi to run my business, and that's more than just a course hosting platform. It does a whole lot more. It hosts my website, it hosts my courses, my community, Creators Cove. It's my payment processor. It's my email funnel system. It's everything. But if you don't want to spend that kind of money and go with that, you could. There's 2 others that I'm aware of. I've never used them, but I know they're fairly popular. Thinkific is one, and Teachable or Teachables, I think it's Teachable, is another one. Sign up with them, and you can upload your videos to those platforms or whichever one you pick, and make it available. You'd also want a payment processor set up. Again, if you go with Kajabi, it's included, but if you go with something else, they may have something, or you can just have a PayPal account and have a button that people, click to buy it, and then you give them access to it. So that's high-level overview of how it all works. Then you want to get into marketing, right? You don't just create a website and make something available and then it just starts selling. It doesn't usually work that way. You have to promote it, make a video about it, start including links to it in your video descriptions and things like that. I don't have any questions today, but I would love to know how to join your Creators Cove community. I've signed up for an invite twice so far and have received anything in my email. You should check your spam folder because I get people signing up to Creators Cove daily. Let me just check something here. Yeah, there's two more members in the last 2 hours have joined. So yeah, you should have something. Check your spam folder. It should be there. If you don't see it in your spam folder, but you know what email address you signed up with, just go to the login page on my website, enter your email address, and enter a random password. You'll get it wrong, and there's going to be a link that you get there that says change password. And then that password should be emailed to you as long as you put your email address in correctly. Or correctly, not incorrectly. What do you consider not that cold? Feels like 9 degrees here. 9 what? Fahrenheit? That's cold. I mean, I went for a walk today in my hoodie and this t-shirt, and it was -2, so it was 30 degrees Fahrenheit, and I was fine. I had a hat and gloves on, and jeans. I mean, I like the sun just like the next person, but I also like going for a walk when it's chilly outside. I don't know. I walk faster to stay warm, right? Good exercise. Big hello to everyone from South Florida. 71 degrees, a bit chilly. Okay, so I don't call 71 a bit chilly. I remember being in Florida one time, a long time ago, walking on the beach. It was the evening and it was over Christmas time. My parents used to have a place down there in the summer. In our winter. So snowbirds, they were. And I remember walking on the beach and like in and out of the water, right? My shorts on. And there were people there in jeans and jean jackets, locals. And they said to me, "Is like, are you crazy? Like, it's cold here and that water's not warm." But it was warm to me. It was, I don't know. I guess you get used to it. My part of Nova Scotia is freezing cold and snow. or I am just old. LOL. Well, maybe if you're in northern Nova Scotia, like Cape Breton, yeah, I think you get a lot more snow than I do here. I'm on the south shore of Nova Scotia, and being so even, I mean that's the ocean right there. If I went 20 minutes inland, they'd have a whole lot more snow than we do right here. I think it gets moderated by the ocean. Yeah, 71 is chilly. LOL. Yeah, that's right. I don't think so. How would I go about having one-to-one coaching to help grow my channel? You can click the link in my description below to book a coaching call. So the link that I have in the description there to book a call, that gets you into my calendar, and you can pick the time that works for you. I've got some slots opened up every week that I make available for that. And yeah, that's how you book that. And I'd be happy to help. Near Peterborough, Ontario, and it was minus 31 Celsius this morning. Car barely started. I bet I wouldn't have gotten out of bed, or I'd just come down to my office. That's the advantage of working from home. You don't have to go out into a chilly car like that. -2 here in the UK. So if it's in the UK, I'm assuming you're talking Celsius. So -2. It's about what it is here. Well, I'll tell you what, it's -3 here now. It was -1 an hour ago. Now it's -3 Celsius. 71 is 21 Celsius. Yeah, that's room temperature. Room temperature. It's probably 21 where I am right here, right now. 71 Fahrenheit in the house. With the rise of AI slop clogging up limited screen space, what are some of the things you're doing to stand out and remain authentic, as a lot of people are saying that authenticity is back? LOL. You kind of answered it. I feel like, and I just made a video about this last week, I think is when it was. But yeah, if you make videos with you in your videos, that's not AI. That's you being you. That's you being authentic. And the more people want to make AI videos, let them. I feel like not a lot of people want to watch those. So that's going to be a very crowded market over there. People, making AI videos. Make videos with you in them. Stand out. That in itself makes you stand apart from those AI videos, right? It depends on the content that you're making, but people want to watch real people because they're not necessarily only watching for the content. They're looking for connection too. They like to get to know their creators. They're the people they like to watch. So make yourself available to them, right? By being in your videos, by being in live streams, answering their questions, being helpful to them, and showing up and not being AI. That is how you combat AI slop. Well, there's a good question. Where to go? Rob, if you have multiple channels under one account, do you have to have 4,000 hours of watch time with each channel to be monetized? Well, that's the best way to put this. So, yeah, if you have two channels and one has 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers and is monetized, and one doesn't, the one that doesn't is not monetized, but this other one still can be monetized. Okay, I have this channel, it's monetized. If I had another channel, I do have another channel, I haven't done anything with it in a year, it's not monetized. Okay, it would have to get monetized on its own. Doesn't matter. So no, they don't all have to be monetized under your umbrella for you to earn money. Each channel would earn money individually. Okay, so if I had two channels monetized under my one account, actually that's a good point. Would I get two checks every month, or would they combine them into one? That I don't know. And I would only know that if I monetized a second channel. Or I could search on YouTube or ask ChatGPT for that answer. I'm not sure. So yeah, I hope that helps. And I see, can I click that? No. Another super chat. From the ground up, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And you've got a question. Do you have a job besides YouTube? No, I don't. This is what I do. I make a full-time living doing this. It took a little while to build it up to full-time. When I was starting this, I was a freelancer working through Fiverr, editing videos for other people, adding subtitles to videos for other people, making Instagram Reels from longer videos for other people. That's what I was doing. That was my full-time job for 4 or 5 years, I guess. And I started this YouTube channel, I guess, on the side while I was still doing that. And eventually this took over all of my time. And then, yeah, I guess I'm going to say it took, from the time I got monetized, I'm going to say it was less than a year after that it was making me a full-time income. So, and I haven't done Fiverr in, the last job I did there is probably over a year ago now. So, thank you very much. Alrighty. Oh, they'll combine them into one because you get them from one Google AdSense account. Okay, there you go. I guess that makes sense. I just had to think that through, I guess. And I would have proof if I ever had a second channel. But yeah, that makes sense. I heard that 90% of content creators have a full-time job. Yeah, I bet it's even higher than that. Only because, what's a content creator? There's a lot of content creators. You can make one video and call yourself a content creator and then not do any more videos for a year. There's a lot of people that started channels and then just have not, they gave them up, or they've gone dormant, right? Not doing anything. Are they content creators? Probably. So yeah, I think I would say the percentage is even higher than that of people who started YouTube and quit. But maybe they're still called content creators. So yeah, no. In fact, like if you want to be a content creator, like a full-time content creator, and that's your only job, I would not quit your main job. Like I would start this on the side. And that's why it's important to really enjoy it. You have to really enjoy filming yourself, making videos, editing videos, uploading videos, researching titles, all the stuff that goes along with it. You have to enjoy that whole process. Maybe there's some things you like more than others. That's a given, I guess. But you got to enjoy all that, because when you start, you're probably going to be doing that in your spare time. Like if you've got a 9-to-5 job, then you're going to be doing YouTube before work, after work, weekends, evenings, right? In my case, like when I said I was a freelancer through Fiverr, that's what I did. That was my main job. I consider myself lucky because I was an entrepreneur. Like I made my own hours. As a freelancer, you can work whenever you want. I didn't have meetings with people. It was all email based, right? Or chat, or whatever you call that, message based. And I could work whenever I wanted to. So yeah, I would quite often. I'm usually down here in my office, not much after 5 a.m. To start, because I've got the whole house to myself. Like this, I love that, right? I can work on my own. And then in the middle of the day, if I want to go for a 2-hour walk, or I want to go for a run or something like that, no problem. So I've been like that for over 20 years. I've been an entrepreneur working for myself. So I feel like that makes it a little bit easier, right? If I had a 9-to-5 that I had to go somewhere to go to work for a person, and then he made me stay there until a time, and then I came back, that would be harder, I think, because I then have to find time. When am I going to do YouTube, right? Whereas as a freelancer, I could do it even between jobs. Like I'd do a job, okay, I finished that one. What's next? Okay, I got 3 more to do. I'm going to do a little YouTube first, right? So anyway. Okay, I'm glad you added Mike to that. Do you have a diesel ram or a gasser, Mike? Yeah, because I didn't know. A ram truck, I assume you mean, but I don't have either. How's that? Well said. You really have to enjoy content creation. That enthusiasm will translate to your audience, and they will feel the passion as well. 100%. Yes. Yeah. You want to. That's a really good point. Yeah, and that's actually another idea I wrote down based on a comment that I got. Like you have to like. I consider myself a positive person. To me, the glass is half full. Even if there's hardly anything left in it, it's still half full. It's just my outlook, and I feel like I want that to translate into my videos. So if I show up happy and energetic and passionate, then I feel like people will want to watch that more than if I was, down in the dumps and oh, I'm sad today, and I mean, you can make a video like that, but that would be an outlier for me, right? So yeah, absolutely will translate, and people will pick up on that. Stephen Lindsay, I found it hard to transition from a full-time, from a 9 to 5 to YouTube. It can be tough, especially if you're not used to working for yourself and setting your own hours. I had many years of experience getting used to that. Pending question, Rob. Okay. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here we go. I have a live streamer that loses her microphone on her phone when someone tries calling while streaming. She does a relive. Can the audio be fixed while streaming? Yeah, I don't know. Sounds like loses her microphone on her phone when someone is calling. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, to answer your question, I don't know that it can be fixed while streaming. But what I will say to try to prevent that from happening in the future, when I was I have live streamed from my phone a couple times. I set up, I would make sure to put my phone in airplane mode when I go live so that would not happen. Because no, I would not know how to get the audio back, and I don't know that you could, or fix it during the stream. I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's a good idea to put your phone in airplane mode if you're going to be live streaming for a certain amount of time so that messages don't interrupt you. Good question. Sorry, I didn't have a better answer. Hey Rob, I wear a mask in my video because I don't want to dox, but I still want to be on camera. Could that hurt any positive motion I get from the algorithms? I mean, if that's your thing, that's fine. People will come to know that. I wouldn't say it'll hurt the algorithm. Again, you just have to make videos for the people who want to watch them. So in your case, people will get used to you in a mask. So I don't necessarily see a problem with that. If I see in your avatar, you and your mask and the sunglasses and the hat, and if that's your look, that's great that you've put it in your avatar, right? So branding, right? Always show up that way, and I think that's a good thing. Who is the entertainer that did that? Is it Marshmallow? Or somebody had a big mask, a performer, like a singer, DJ or something. I think his name, was it Marshmallow? I don't remember, but same kind of thing. Nobody knew who he looked like, I don't think. I mean, I don't know for sure, but yeah, and he made that work. So absolutely. Does YouTube automatically do subtitles? Yes. Now, I'm not 100% sure they do it for everybody yet, but because when they first rolled it out, it was for a limited number of people, but I believe they do it for everybody now. They will, it's not subtitles, it's captions. They will automatically transcribe your video and then create captions so that people can click that CC button and see the subtitles, right? You have the ability to upload your own if they don't do a good job making them. Excuse me, like maybe if you have a thicker accent, or if you're not speaking that clearly, or if there's a lot of background noise, YouTube may have a harder time being accurate with their transcribing, in which case you can upload your own, but I would feel like that would be a lot of work. I've never done that. I've only just let YouTube do its thing. So Skrillex, yes, that's somebody. My son used to listen to him, Skrillex. But I didn't think that's not the one I was thinking of, but I remember that name. He had a popcorn bucket. Can't think of his name either. How can I put don't disturb? Do not disturb on your phone? That would depend on the phone. Like on an iPhone, I think you just pull down from the top and it's an option, do not disturb. On an Android, it would be different. Depending on your phone, what I would do is I would go to YouTube and ask, how do I put my Galaxy blah, blah, blah on do not disturb? Or you could ask ChatGPT. It'll tell you exactly what you have to do. How does one know how to avoid getting demonetized, banned, or copyright strikes? Don't do anything that YouTube doesn't want you to do. Is the bottom line. Live by their rules. Abide by their rules. If you're concerned, if you think you might be doing something that you don't think YouTube wants you to do, I would dive into their terms of service, their policies and whatnot, and get familiar with them. It's not something I've done because I just have I don't use any music I'm not allowed to use. I don't use any video clips I'm not allowed to use. Getting demonetized, that could happen if you get monetized and then, your watch hours fall below the 4,000, you could get demonetized. But if you keep making content, that should be able to reverse that in due time. Buckethead, that was the name I was thinking of, I think. But who's Marshmallow? Wasn't Marshmallow a guy? Like a big white head and like X's on the eyes is what I'm picturing. Maybe that's somebody different. How can I get past the fear of starting? Just start. You don't want to hear that. Yeah. If you never start, you'll probably regret never having tried. So there's that. Also, if you never start, you will never be able to know how to start. Like the only way to know how to do it is to do it. And you just have to force yourself. I get some tips would be put yourself in a comfortable place to do it. Like for me, that meant closing my office door. It meant turning music on out in the rec room so nobody else could hear what I'm doing in here. I didn't like the idea of people hearing me making a video. So I put music on out there so nobody could hear me in here. And I'd shut the door. So do what you have to do to get comfortable so that you can try some things. Try to be more animated than you normally are. Make a video, watch it back. Here's a challenge. Record yourself for 2 minutes every single day for 2 weeks. And then see how you feel after that. Right? Like record yourself, record it. You don't have to upload it anywhere. I mean, that's the next step. If you want, that's leveling up the challenge, uploading it as well. But just start with that. Record yourself every day for 2 weeks, 14 days. Or do it for a month if you want, or a week, whatever. Maybe try it for 2 weeks. And then if you feel up to it, start uploading them to YouTube. That's a big step. Right? And, they can exist on your channel even a year from now when you've got 10,000 subscribers and you're making money and stuff. You can look back on those and say to yourself, wow, I've come a long way. That I'm proud of myself. That's awesome. Look how bad I sucked when I started. Right? It's good to be able to do that. I've left my first videos on my channel so I can point you guys, to my channel and you can have a look at them and see how good I was when I started. And it was horrible. But I left them on for a reason. Like that's part of my journey. And I'm not trying to hide any part of my journey. Nobody's going to start making videos and be perfect when they start. It doesn't work that way. Everybody starts by stumbling. You just have to do it. And the last thing I'll say is, what's the worst thing that can happen if you record yourself and you don't like it? Worst thing that can happen? Nothing. Like nothing can happen. You can delete it if you want. So there you go. But I will say that everybody that I've ever talked to who is a YouTuber or content creator who's making videos, anybody I've ever talked to would say that they wished they had started sooner. Okay? Nobody ever tells me, oh yeah, I started exactly when I should have. No, they'd all say, I wish I started 5 years sooner. I wish I started 5 years sooner, because then I'd be 5 years more experienced at this point. 5 years better. You may not be able to speak if the do not disturb is on? Really? So for the iPhone, it was focus mode, and I turned my focus mode into airplane mode, I guess, is what I did. So, and it worked. It worked for me. Marshmallow is the DJ I'm talking about. And thank you for the feedback. Okay, I thought it was Marshmallow. Thank you for confirming that. We got another super chat, Awkward Bob. Thank you, Awkward Bob. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Huge fan of you and Kevin Colby, 45 here, and ready to restart YouTube after a few years break because of you both. Awesome. I think Kevin's great too. Kevin's great. I've had him on my channel a couple times. He was on the Christmas special a month ago. That was fun. Yeah, Kevin is great. What I really dislike are YouTube creators that cheat by purely using other creators' content and cheat their way to subs and views. Don't really know what you mean by that. Using other creators' content? Like pieces of their videos? I'm not sure what you mean. What's that? Hi Rob, I just began to help other people with YouTube in Denmark. I'm a faceless YouTuber who needs a good idea what visuals to show on my videos besides text. Do you have any good ideas? Yeah, I draw a blank a little bit with faceless channels. I just find it so much easier just to put your face in the videos or just film other things. I mean, really, the sky's the limit. You can set up your camera and film whatever. Film yourself doing chores and stuff. That gets more complicated if you want to go out of your way to not show your face. So I don't really know what to suggest to you there. Anything. Film sailboats having a race, right? Anything. Go for a walk and show a first-person view, like show where you're going, not yourself, or what you're passing as you're going for a walk. That can be the visual. Couple of ideas. Christopher Comstock, known professionally as Marshmallow, okay, without the W, that's right, is an American DJ and record producer. There we go. How to get past the fear of starting. Oh, I think I already answered that one. Yes, Marshmallow, DJ artist. Yes, Marshmallow. Yes, Marshmallow. Oh, I got that. Where am I now? Chocolate Suji. I got 1,000 subs a week ago and 4,000 watch hours yesterday. How long until I'm monetized? So you have to apply. So if you go into your YouTube studio under the Earn or Monetization tab, it says Earn for me now, but I think, no, it says Monetization now for me. If you go in here, so go to your channel, YouTube Studio, and, oh no, it says Earn. Go to the Earn tab. In there should be, like, I'm already signed up, so you would click Apply to apply to the YouTube Partner Program, and then you will be accepted. I would say, if I'm trying to remember, so I applied well before I met the criteria, so then once I met the criteria, I was accepted into it. I'm going to say it took less than a week, probably, and yeah, going by memory though, that was a year and a half ago now for me. But yeah, probably less than a week. Once you've applied and been accepted, yeah, it happens pretty quick. Lost my cursor again. It's good. Mayo loves Mondays. Problem is, If your channel is about coat hangers, you won't get lots of views no matter what. Of course, how to succeed on YouTube, creators do well because there's a huge audience. Yeah, coat hangers, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily suggest that as a niche. You want to pick something that somebody, that people are interested in. But I will say, actually first I will acknowledge this super chat. Seize the Cruise Day. Love the name. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Motivational talks, really appreciate it. Thank you, Rob. No problem. Thank you for your generosity. Appreciate that. But yeah, no, what... where'd it go? Where'd it go? I had a question here. There we go. Yeah, what I will say, so I do actually get a lot of questions from people in the comments, or not questions, they're typically comments that say, you know, how come it's only that, like, how do I get successful on YouTube without talking about how to get successful on YouTube, right? And I think in a lot of cases it's kind of tongue in cheek, like, of course, Rob, you're being successful because you're talking about how to be successful on YouTube, and of course you're going to be successful. Well, I would say that there are plenty of other niches out there doing far better than I am. And this is not the only way, not the only niche that you're able to be successful with. And I'll add that if somebody's watching my channel, any of my videos, and they are, if they're able to leave that comment, if somebody's watching my videos, it means they're probably watching videos of other people who are trying to help people be successful on YouTube. And the more videos you watch of that topic, of that type, the more videos like that YouTube is going to put in front of you. So it'll only take a couple days of you browsing through YouTube and watching these videos before you start to think, wow, everybody who's successful on YouTube is making videos on how to be successful on YouTube. When in actual fact, there are plenty of people being successful on YouTube, fly fishing, and cottage living, and van lifing, and whatever else, helping people how to start campfires, hiking channels, cycling channels. I could go on forever. Anything you can think of. Maybe not coat hangers, but pretty much everything else people can make a success, because it's less about it's honestly, I feel like it's mostly about the connection, right? You know, you got to get good at talking on camera, and that'll take time. But yeah, so I just wanted to make that point too. But you know what? Let's see. Retirement channels. Yes, my retired path. Yeah, lots of retirement channels, because lots of people are retiring or want to retire, right? You can make retirement content for people who aren't able to retire. Perhaps they need some help retiring. How did you do it? How do you retire at 50? I'm 55. I can't retire yet. How do I do that? Like, people need this type of help. So if you can make videos that help people, you can be successful at it. Now I want to make a second channel about coat hangers. You know what? Prove us wrong, Russell. Prove me wrong. Make and succeed with a coat hanger channel. I know you can do it. Is it true thumbnails are hard to create? Everyone says so. Nope, not true at all. They're easy, easy. Go to my channel and search for Canva, C-A-N-V-A, and I'll show you how to make a thumbnail in 5 minutes. Dead easy. Recon Ott, thank you so much for the super chat. Quick question, how important are content clusters? What do you mean by content clusters? In other words, if I made a series of videos that were all kind of about the same thing, like several in a row, I think that's a good strategy to have, especially if you let people know that the next video is going to talk about this a little bit more, that kind of thing. Yeah, you could do that if that's what you mean. I think that's what you mean. Not really something I've done, or not on purpose anyways. I tend to just go one video at a time. What should I make next? And I'll go to the comments of my last video. What are people asking for? And that's the subject of the next one. Yeah, that's what I mean. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I think it could be a good strategy. It's something you can try, right, and see how well it works. You know, I'm a big believer in basically try anything. in terms of the type of content. Like, try to stay within your niche and try to always speak to the same audience, the people who would be interested in your stuff, but try to make it in a different way every once in a while. If you usually make your videos at your desk, try making it outside on a park bench. Try making a video in your car, parked safely, right? Yeah, so that would be my suggestion. Guys, I'm going to have to go. I am hungry and I have to go to the bathroom. So that sounds like a pretty good place to draw the line. I hope you found this helpful. Again, I got lots of free things down below. Join the community if you're interested, link below. Download my free stats tracker. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching, I offer that as well. There's a link below for that. You can check that out. Other than that, I've got a couple courses you can check out too, but enough of that. I hope to have another video out by Friday, maybe Thursday, probably Friday, not sure. And if not then Monday, but maybe I'll make a post about it. I haven't done a post in like 11 days, I think it said. So maybe that's the next thing I do, a post. I hope you found this helpful, guys. I had a lot of fun today. 192 of you still here. Wow, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, I'm spinning my wheels now. I don't know what else to say. I'm hungry and I have to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.